What? What?
Testing, testing,
What?
testing,
What?
testing, 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 testing,
S's, it be-
Motherfucking Lynn Drum in the house. Dougie Fresh, beatbox. My man E.
Yo, we're recording.
What's up, Tone?
Are we recording?
Hell yeah, we
Oh
here.
god
we
damn,
here.
we fucked up that.
I didn't know
Hey
we was getting-
man,
I didn't even know it was on.
the human beatbox
my
over there.
bad.
He was over there trying to get it.
That was a mic test.
I thought it was mic test too.
You want to hit it one time? Give me a beat.
No.
Nah.
I hit him with that. When we rock the house, there is no doubt.
Half of the people don't even know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah, they
so
damn sure don't.
That's a
What's
way
good,
back.
Tone?
Man. Another show.
E, what's up, boy?
What's happening?
Man.
Football.
Football back.
It's Monday Night
Football
Football. We
back.
watching right now. What you watching? The Raiders and the Rams.
The Hater Nation.
7-0 already.
Them
Just
motherfuckers,
started.
boy, they whip your ass. They gonna win one way or the other.
They gonna beat your ass or they gonna beat your ass.
That's the Hater Nation right there, boy. They don't be bullshitting.
Yeah.
You get a chance to watch that Green Bay game yesterday?
Yeah, I seen it. It was a good game.
Shit,
Crazy,
man.
crazy. I thought he was out. I thought Aaron Rodgers was out.
Hey, man, and the backup looked bad. That motherfucking, he got the ball, took all out his hand and shit.
Kaiser came out there a while. I was like, ooh.
This about to be a
They
badass
just-
whooping
They
up.
just straight took the ball out the nigga's hand. Wasn't no
me that
interception.
shit.
Wasn't no fumble. He just, give me that.
Big Mac just came in there looking like a superstar. Like,
Yeah,
damn,
he
he about
looked
to
good.
get down.
He looked good.
I said, dude. The next thing you know, man, it's what, 20-0 going to halftime. Come back.
It wasn't 20 nothing.
I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah, 20-0.
I forgot what it was at halftime. I'm not for sure. I thought it
And
was.
he
I thought
hobbled
it was
his
lower
ass
than that,
back
though.
out there, man, trying to make a bid to be the GOAT, trying to make a bid to be Tom Brady's cousin and shit. And 21 answered points before they got the game going again.
Yeah.
That's crazy as
He
twit.
do what he do. He did it to
That's
us.
shit,
Hey,
man.
he did it to us.
Man, I know. I thought about that all yesterday when I was watching the game. Like, this motherfucker Aaron Rodgers did us wrong.
I want to see that. That white boy Rick movie. I want to see that shit.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah. So
So yeah, I wasn't surprised that he came back and got that ass. But football, like you said, is back officially.
you know what?
We-
What was cool about it?
Yeah.
You know how you really kind of know that it's back and get the feeling it was. I woke up Sunday morning, man, and even though I had went out the night before, I woke up Sunday morning, like got up, had my laptop for my fantasy football, my little fantasy football magazines and shit. Got my. It ain't cold enough here in California yet. I mean, but shit, I looked all over. It ain't cold enough anywhere yet in the States, so it wasn't cold enough for me to get my coffee out yet. But I did get the energy drink, sat down, and got ready for the first games, man. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm in a quandary. I don't know if I'm fucking with football or not. I go watch the Cowboys, but I'm a little disappointed.
What are you talking about?
I'm a little disappointed in football in itself. I love football. I mean, I love the whole thing, but you know, all the shit that's going on with it, man. So I'm in a quandary. Some games I'm watching, some games I'm not. I just can't give them all the loves until they get the shit
Because
right.
of the cap stuff.
Not because of the cap shit just by itself, man. Just all of it, man. You know what I'm saying? All of it. I want them. I guess I want a league is dominated by Black Americans. I mean, you know what I mean? You should be able to understand where we coming from, and I think they do in one sense, but in another sense, I just don't feel they do. So I just can't give them all my damn attention. Cause I ain't gonna lie, boy. I used to sit in the house. I wake up just like you said, coffee and all, hot. I don't give a fuck, and watch football all damn day, all damn day. Just watch football all day. But I won't do it. I can't do it. I mean, it's just right.
I gotta take. I'm trying to separate. We talked about it last week. I'm trying to separate that stuff from football. I just feel like Like, I mean, you have the right. You have the right to protest. You can protest how you want to,
No doubt.
but I just,
I'm
I,
protesting.
I just don't want it. I just don't want it mixed up with my football anymore.
I'm protesting that we suck. The Cowboys. As long as we got Jason Garrett, we suck. That's what I'm protesting. That's sorry, motherfucker. Yeah, I said it officially on Don't Be Stupid. I still don't want him as my coach, man. And the motherfucker,
If I knew that's where you were coming from, then I'm like, yeah. Then I'm not watching it. Yeah, I hate that nigga too. But I'm saying, I thought you was talking about all the other bullshit that's going on with the league.
talk
and
about
shit.
gay ass motherfucking calls, making badass decisions.
Why you keep saying what you got against gay?
I'm not talking about gay in the sense of man
every
like
time,
a man.
nah, but every
I'm
time
talking
we
about
bring
in the
up
sense
gay,
of
you ain't
he-
talking about happy.
he over happy ass motherfucker.
Oh,
just
so
happy
you
to have a
are
job.
saying-
Yes, I am.
so you are
I'm
talking
saying,
gay as in
yeah,
happy.
Yeah, he's over happy ass. I'm just gotta have a job. I'm gonna make fucked up decisions all the time.
He do be
That's
smiling all the fucking time, no matter what they do.
That's
he
what I'm
smile.
saying. I mean, you look at it. You got rid of Dan Bailey, the number 2 best kicker in the NFL. I don't know what he was doing.
You ain't got
nobody
rid of
said.
him. He's still there, ain't he?
No, that motherfucker gone. They
I
got
know.
rid of Dan
No, I
Bailey.
know. I thought that I know they went with the other dude. They said matter of fact, they're saying that he earned the position. He won the position. But I heard he's still on the roster though. Bailey's still on the roster.
I heard he's gone, dude. I heard he's gone. I mean, the
You
bottom
know,
line
but
is,
you do know he's 62.
I don't give a fuck. So was Dramatica.
Bailey's
Gramatica,
62.
whatever the motherfucker's name was, he was kicking. So was what's the Raiders kicker?
Rakowski, whatever.
That
right,
motherfucker
right.
was
Yeah, but that's not our kickers.
197 too, but kicking the shit out the ball.
But anyway,
The bottom line is
anyway,
he's putting
we're
the-
saying, all right, we're
he's
done.
putting the points in.
That's it.
I'm just saying, fuck him and fuck Dez Bryant for trolling us, talking shit.
You brought that up because Aaron Rodgers. We didn't even mention Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers had that great comeback yesterday.
Aaron Rodgers was the shit. I
Again.
brought that up because we suck so bad and he looked so good over one quarter and a quarter and a half a quarter.
Why are you comparing them? It don't even make sense.
Fucking bastard.
Ain't got shit to do with us. Why you even throwing us Cowboys in there with it? That had nothing to do with us.
You're right. I'm done. I'm done with the football shit for till next week. Till we play again. I'm done. Till we be back on it. Man, what's going on in the world? Because there's a lot of shit I seen. I was like, God damn, woo, this shit is on this week.
We got the Giants next week. That's right.
I thought we was done with football.
We are. You just said next week, though. I was thinking about who we had.
Fuck the Giants.
So, what's up, Tone? What else happened this week or last week? Whatever. Which I want to start with.
What
A few
what's up?
things. Y'all want to get to the stupid shit, or y'all want to talk about something serious real quick? We
Well,
can-
let's do. I hate when we have to do rest in peace.
Well,
Oh,
let's,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
get
we
it
had-
over with
yeah, we
then,
did.
bro.
Get that shit over with.
Yeah.
'Cause,
First, Mac Miller.
Mac Miller.
young man, 26, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Boy.
Like I said, we was talking a little earlier. I don't know Mac Miller. I know when I seen, when I actually seen the pictures after he passed, when people were posting up pictures, when I saw the pictures, I actually recognized the guy.
Yeah.
Really don't know any of his music. Heard of him a lot. But at the same time, it still kind of, I don't know, it kind of affected me in a way. A 26-year-old, 26, you said, Tom?
26, so he was coming up in the world. I mean, he was probably one of the freshman group
Well,
that was coming up.
Well, 26, and in the past, the way he did, they're saying an overdose and stuff. That's sad. So I
man, got
I
some
did feel
demons.
bad. I did feel bad for him.
I've never been around anybody that's overdosed, so I don't know. Maybe you guys have. But so I have to ask, because is there a point that, I mean, let me say this differently. Can they overdose off the smallest amount, or is there a amount that pushes them into overdose?
See,
Well, I
the-
mean, who?
Too much or a bad batch?
Too much or bad batch? So
Or,
there is a
I mean,
possibility
but-
you can
or-
overdose off a bad batch.
I don't know if that's considered an overdose. I mean,
Overdose is usually meaning there's too much
it's
of, right?
Yeah, overdose. Means you took
Overdose.
too much. Bad
So-
batch would be basically poison or something. I
Poison.
mean, basically, But what I'm saying is that when you ask that question, I'm not no doctor, ain't no genius. But I did stay at Holiday Inn Express. what I'm saying is, I think it's different for it's
You
different.
stupid.
It's different for everybody, right? Everybody's body reacts differently. So what might be too much for me might not be the same way when we drink.
Yeah,
Some motherfuckers fall out drunk from 2 drinks.
yeah.
Some people drink all night, no problems, So it might be that way. I don't know though.
Let me ask you this then.
Huh.
Do you feel like your body knows when you're good? Like, okay, look, all right, I'm feeling chill. I'm like, all right, I'm a couple of drinks, I'm like, wait, a couple of drinks, I'm feeling good. And I know if I drink those first couple of drinks and then every hour have another drink, I can stay cool, maintain cool. If I drink more than that, I start to feel intoxicated, and the next thing you know, I'm drunk and I don't have all my senses right. So, do you think that he knew that there was a point that he was cool, but he just kept going?
Can't nobody answer those questions but him. I think that,
Or,
and this is me. I mean,
all
but
people
you
who
okay?
drink.
First of all, everything I say
Yeah,
is gonna be just me guessing. I don't know
I want you to guess.
because I've never tried all these different drugs. But from what I've heard, different drugs have different types of highs. So you can't compare a drinking high to a other type of high. So you don't know, when you're on other things. Because I know I fucked up before on alcohol, where I'm drinking and things are feeling good and things get to going real good, and I want to drink some more and more to keep it going. And a lot of times you lose track, or you just don't think, you're just not thinking right, and you're just drinking because you're feeling good and you just want the good feeling to keep on. Now with alcohol, eventually, you pass out, or you start throwing up or stuff like that. But who knows if other drugs are the same way? Like, say, I'm just gonna use heroin for instance. I don't know, but I'm gonna use heroin for instance. If I'm taking heroin and it has the same type of reaction as far as getting high, and it's making me feel a certain way, and I don't want that way to end, and so I take more and more, that's probably a whole different effect than me drinking more and more of alcohol. Taking more and more of heroin might kill you.
Yeah.
Drinking more and more of alcohol, it's gonna take a lot to kill you, but you'll probably pass out. You'll probably throw up, or your body will reject it before you just drink yourself to death like that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know, and it's not right for me to guess what that man was doing. Anyway, who knows?
No,
what the
no, no.
hell-
I'm not.
what
I'm
the
not.
hell he was
I'm
doing.
not making it specific to him. I'm looking for the answer that you gave me, which was a good answer, which was different drugs might affect you differently. You might not know that that's pushing you over the edge.
Not only
you
does
know
it,
what I mean?
not only
Yeah.
does, not only
I mean,
does it,
I'm just trying to get a better understanding because like I said, I've never been around anybody who's overdosed. I've been around people who've been drunk. I've been people around hella high, and they like, damn, they toe up, and they need to sleep it off.
I don't
But
think
I've
there's.
never
I don't
seen-
think there's a. I don't think there's a specific answer, because you say, because like I say, you can. Everybody's body is going to take it a different way. So the same amount that it takes to kill me might make you,
feel good in the motherfucker.
or
Yeah.
or might not kill you. You might get fucked up, but at the same time, you won't be to the point that I'm at. So
Yeah, so that makes me think he might didn't judge it right, or he might have done that same amount before, and this was, this time his body reacted differently.
Who knows?
Or whatever. Who knows? I mean, but that is a good answer, because it makes me wonder, because when people overdose, I think,
don't
damn,
think there's no.
how could you get to
yeah,
that
there's
point
no
that
answer.
you overdose? But you're right. There's probably no real answer to that. You probably don't know you're gonna overdose. You have no idea that your body's reacting that way to it. So,
Yeah, who knows, man? The young guy, this young man had some demons. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He was going through some stuff, and who's to say?
Yeah, who knows?
But he had just a couple of months ago, he had a DUI, and he was, I guess I forgot whose show he was on, but he said he's doing okay. He's gonna, get his head right. But who's to say, man? Probably had a tough couple of 6 months of the past year. Who knows?
Man, tough breaks.
Anything happens, man. And that in that industry it's easy to get caught up on that shit. So
Right.
I mean, you had
That's too bad.
what was the name of the Celtic from back in the day. Was it
Len Bias?
Yeah, remember they said I don't know what the real story is, but remember they said he tried cocaine for the first time
And got him.
and killed him.
Yeah.
So like I said, you never know how much or what is going to affect you certain ways. So I mean, we don't. That's why I don't feel really comfortable about that, talking about how much or what he took, because who knows what it was? Who knows if it was if it was could have been a reaction with something else.
Yeah.
Something else that was in his body already. We're all on different things, and we all these drugs you take for granted. Like I know I take medication for things like blood pressure and shit like that. And I don't never even take consideration that when I'm drinking and stuff that they say, you're not supposed to mix this with that, with alcohol with this, and I don't think twice about it. I just do it. So you never know.
Yeah. So
Anyway.
rest in peace to my man.
Just
Mac
one
Miller.
more though. One more.
And
Oh
and the other
no!
Hurt my
hey,
heart.
man, who you
did.
telling, man?
Hurt my heart. Who is it, Tone?
Man, Mr. Burt Reynolds,
Mr.
Man.
Burt
Mr.
Reynolds.
Bandit himself,
Smokey the Bandit.
Yeah.
Mr.
Smokey the Bandit.
Hooper,
Oh,
Mr.
longest yard.
Longest Yard, Cannonball Run,
Cannonball Run.
Yeah.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, man. It's
Most
kinda
little
funny 'cause,
whorehouse in Texas.
You a kid watching these movies, man, and he doing his thing.
Man, I've been watching Burt Reynolds for my whole life, bro.
Yep,
And
yep.
I used to think I remember the shit when we think back to Smokey and the Bandit, man. That damn
Trans
Trans
Am.
Am with the eagle, that black Trans Am with the
And-
eagle on the
and
hood.
man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I know I had me a Matchbox
Oh shit!
of that motherfucker.
That
Hot
Trans Am was
Wheels.
solid, boy.
Man, I used to love some Burt Reynolds, boy.
I think
Yeah.
they might have sold a set of the Trans Am and the sheriff's car, and then the what's his name truck.
Oh, you know Pontiac got paid.
What you talking about, the real ones?
Yeah, it was the black and gold Pontiac.
Well, they
It came
made
in the set.
through the year. Oh, it's also what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's
he came. It was like
torn,
I don't know if it was a Smoking the Bandit set.
Well, they would make
They sure enough
through the
came with
years
it.
they would make replicas like of the newest. Back when they were making Trans Ams, it'd be like a newer Trans Am, and they would make it. They'd throw the eagle on it and stuff. And man, I don't know. That's another one when it made me think though, bro. And I think I heard it somewhere else too, but it made me think that we got to realize that all these cats we grew up with, like when you start thinking about the fucking I mean, you start thinking about
Their
all
age
the well,
or
you start
the-
thinking about all the cats that we told. We start thinking about Burt Reynolds. You got you got Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, shit, damn near 90. You got what's my man's name? What's my man's name with the
Taxi
mole?
cab driver
With the mole right here.
with the mole.
George Hamilton.
Yeah,
No, the
that's the only one I know.
Gangster.
The mole.
gangster dude.
Robert De
Oh,
Niro?
Robert. De Niro?
Robert De Niro getting old. You start thinking about
Taxi
all
cab
these,
driver.
but you start
Yeah.
thinking about all these cats. What's my man's What's my
Al
man's name?
Pacino.
Al Pacino. What's my man's at the Laker game? Every Laker game.
Gene.
Jack.
Jack.
Jack
yeah.
Nicholson. But
Jack
yeah,
Nicholson.
But-
Nicholas or
Yeah.
something.
So
Yeah,
what
but
I'm saying is all these
you don't
cats.
see him no more.
You see him at the Laker game?
He shows up at the
Yeah.
Lakers.
Oh yeah, he's always
Yeah,
at the late
every
game.
game.
He had every game.
Everybody thought he was kind of losing it because
What
he
I'm
just-
saying, but
he
what
was
I'm
the
saying
Lakers.
is all these cats we grew up watching.
Yeah.
These cats are all pushing 80. So we gotta start, we gotta start realizing that it's just gonna be probably pretty soon here, one after another. These cats that
Man.
were like heroes to us. Shit, even Sylvester Stallone getting up there in age.
I know Sly is. He ain't looking the same.
All these cats that we
good.
were watching
He
as
gets work
kids
done.
and shit. These motherfuckers is about to start dropping off.
Yeah, but who
And then you
didn't
know
wanna
what's
be
next
Burt
up?
Reynolds back in the '80s, man. He did all those movies, cool ass dude. Man, he was a badass.
Yeah.
I know he got him some shit.
Oh, he remember in the movies he was always pulling chicks. He had all the ladies.
Yep. That's Bert.
Shit,
That's
and then he
Burt.
snatched up Lonnie Anderson.
That was a long time ago.
ARP in Cincinnati.
You a fool.
Yeah, nah, man. Nah, that was the
What it is.
best little whorehouse in Texas. That's crazy.
Listeners don't even know what that movie
I'm
is.
sorry. It's,
But you're right.
You young
I remember
folks.
that's good shit.
yeah, you couldn't go, man.
I mean, it might not be. Don't get me wrong. They're not the best movies in the world. A lot of them weren't good movies. But as kids,
I still watch
watching
Smokey.
them, yeah, as kids watching them, that was. Do you remember what beer they were going to get when they had to go over the line to get? So what it was the beer wasn't allowed to come out of the state, wasn't allowed to come into the next state, and so they were going up, they were making that run, and what was it, Conway? What was the dude's name? What was the dude's name that drove the truck? I forget his name, but anyway, so they had to go get the beer and bring it back. And so that's why the cops was chasing them and stuff. They knew they were making this run. The beer was Coors.
Damn.
Coors wasn't allowed when Coors first came out. It was only allowed in Colorado or whatever. They wouldn't let it. They wouldn't let it in other states. And so they were going up getting the Coors and bringing it back down to the other states.
Damn,
Yeah,
Eric,
that's-
that's good detail, bro. I didn't remember all that.
Yeah. Well, I heard it. I heard it later in life. I didn't know what the fuck it was when I was a kid. I just know that shit was funny as hell. Didn't the truck driver have a monkey or some shit?
He had a hound dog.
Oh, hound. I'm thinking of BJ and the Bear.
Oh, that was Cletus.
BJ and the Bandit.
I'm thinking, no, BJ and the Bear. You remember the TV show BJ and the Bear? The truck
No, I
driver?
don't.
They had a truck driver that had a monkey.
I think
BJ
so.
and the Bear. Man, you know what? We can way. One of us don't know.
Hey,
what
all
we're
just to
talking
say,
about.
rest in peace, Burt Reynolds,
Yes,
dog.
yes.
Oh, that truck driver name was Cletus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Jerry
What was
Reed
his real
Cletus.
Jerry Reed? That was
Yeah,
his name because he
Jerry
was
Reed
also
Cletus.
he's also be on Scooby Doo.
I ain't gonna lie.
They would bring him on Scooby Doo.
I ain't gonna lie. Sally Field was fine as hell on them shorts back in the day. This is
It's funny.
Sally Field.
It's funny because when I look at it now, I'm like, man, no ass
Man,
having.
no nothing, but she
She was-
looked right back then.
She was
Back
made
in the
like
day,
she was made like a number 11.
she was just like, hey. I ain't know they could wear shorts like that.
Oh shit, Eric, you sick to the motherfucker.
What's next? What's next?
Rest in peace, bro.
Yeah, man.
Rest in peace, Burt Reynolds.
You know what?
Damn.
Let's talk about real quick. Shit.
We going drama or we going?
That's what I'm trying to decide because
Damn shame.
I mean
Old.
I think we go ahead and go ahead and talk about the lady officer, I guess, because that way we can. I think every other topic is probably lead us into some fun and stuff, but that one's probably the last one that's gonna be. Ain't really no fun in it. So.
No doubt. I mean, as a story, we've all heard that the Dallas officer was coming home from a 15-hour shift, and she enters the wrong apartment. From my understanding, she had a card key. That's how they enter in. She has a card key, and she tries to get into the apartment, and she can't get in. So
and she's on the wrong floor. So
on the wrong
So
floor,
what happens
on
is
the wrong floor.
they're
But they
saying
said the
that-
floors look identical.
Yeah, that's
though.
what I wanted you to say.
Yeah, they said the floors look
The
identical.
difference was that he had a red welcome mat or something,
Yeah.
and she didn't. But go ahead. bro.
Yeah. So she goes to get into the door. She can't. He comes to the door, opens the door. She sees, they say, a
bad.
large dark figure, which is crazy, and she opens fire and shoots him. And the story just
Wait
to
a minute.
me,
Wait.
am
You
I missing
skipped.
something?
No,
Go
you
ahead,
didn't.
Eric.
You
Go ahead.
didn't miss nothing.
I
But
heard a different one.
okay,
Go
what
ahead.
did you hear then? Go ahead.
Yeah, tell your part. Turn.
I heard, she just came from work. She was still in uniform.
Yeah.
She was off
Yeah.
duty.
Yep.
She went to the wrong floor.
Yep.
But the first thing I heard, when I heard it, I was like, well, how the hell she get access inside the room? The one I heard today was that he had his door open a little bit. So that's how she came in.
Yeah, I heard it was open too.
Yeah, because I was like, how did she get in if she...
And it was dark. For some reason, it was dark in there, and she heard she heard some kind of rumbling or whatever. Thought somebody was in her apartment, and she pulled her gun and shot at the dark shadow or whoever. And come to find out it was the wrong house.
Mm,
And then she. No.
no,
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Then she called the police and stuff, and I guess they have her call where she's saying, I thought it was my apartment. I thought it was my apartment. There is a little bit of controversy starting up, and I'll bring it up, but I'm not really real versed in it. I haven't really looked into it, but they're saying that something about how she was arrested, but she wasn't arrested right away. She
Yeah.
was arrested like a day later or something.
She didn't get
Yeah.
arrested till today, didn't she?
Or something.
bonded.
She got arrested. She didn't get arrested that night. She got arrested later, and they're saying something about that was the police getting their stories together and stuff. But okay,
It's still a tragedy, no matter how you look at it, for somebody to go into somebody's house, and if your door's ajar, if he answers the door, whatever it is, and your first thought is to start shooting. What about hold it, freeze?
no,
Lay on the
Okay.
ground or motherfucking give me whatever it is.
Okay, I'll say this, and I'm saying it, mind you. I don't believe it. I don't believe in it. I don't believe it's right. But I'm saying it because I'm just gonna be honest with the way I feel, the way I think about it. I could understand a cop shooting. Now, I'm saying that with the understand. I mean, with you guys understanding that I don't think it's right what she did, but I can understand where a cop thinks shoot. Because we got to keep remembering, and this is where a lot of people don't want to give the cops that kind of leeway. The cops deal with a lot of bullshit. I mean, as far as people wanting to cause harm to them, people testing them, they deal with crime. So these are people who are already. That's you're wondering if they, there's times when they want to. They're thinking take you out before you take me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
So I understand their mindset, especially being in the military. You don't
Rules of engagement.
exactly. There's certain mindsets that it takes to be a cop. With that being said, though, so I understand that. With that being said, though, I don't understand how the fuck you can go into somebody else's apartment, think it's yours, all the way up to the point where you pulled out your gun and shot somebody in their
Yeah.
living room. It just
Yep.
don't make any sense.
Yep.
The smell alone, and when you walk in somebody's house, and be like,
different.
Like,
Like, wait a minute,
"This
this shit
ain't
ain't
my
right.
house.
You can't be that
I,
damn
It's
I
like,
stepped through
yeah,
the door. I know my house from anybody else's house.
There's gotta be. They said that they gave her alcohol tests and stuff. I don't know what the outcome on that was and
Yeah, I
everything.
thought of that too.
But there's gotta be something more to this story. And truthfully,
crazy.
alcohol, drugs, that's the simple story.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that these motherfuckers was fucking.
Somebody else said that.
It's just
Somebody
how the
else
fuck do
said
you end
that.
How the hell do you end up in somebody else's apartment? If the story was that the white woman wandered into his apartment and said, and the dude was like, "What the fuck you doing?" And she said, "Oh, my bad," and stuff, and they left. That's believable.
hmm
But to wander in somebody else's apartment, here's something going on where you still thinking it's your apartment. Pull out your gun and shoot somebody. That's just a crazy story.
Yeah,
to
because
me.
they were saying that he wasn't following directions. I ain't got to follow shit.
What do you mean follow directions?
Like follow directions, like she was giving him directions, and
Oh, see, I didn't
it
hear
was
that
like-
part.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. There's always
the story
there's
I heard.
different
The story
stories.
I heard is that she couldn't see what was going on.
Yeah, I heard
and
that
she
story.
saw some shit moving and stuff, and she
Right.
thought there were
Figured,
people, and
yeah.
so she pulled out a gun. She shot into the dark, and then come to find out, I guess after she turned the lights on, she was like, "Wait a minute, my bad.
Ain't that a bitch? Wait a minute. My bad.
This ain't my house." But
This-
that's some crazy
I mean,
shit, man.
that is there's how you supposed to explain that DA is getting in their ass too.
That's just crazy because even though accidents happen, it's a fucked up accident, but accidents happen. Now you have proof. We have examples of men getting shot, black men getting shot for driving in the wrong areas where they're not supposed to be. We have examples of black
sounding
men.
crazy, right? When you say it, driving in the
We-
wrong area.
We got examples of black men walking where they ain't supposed to be walking and then getting shot. And now we got a damn example of niggas sitting in their living room.
Ain't shit
Minding
a bitch.
they- now, what's the one thing
I ain't
I
did
always
shit else but sit in my living
Tone,
room.
what's the one thing I always say about going about staying out of trouble and shit. Why I don't.
I ain't gonna
I
never
stay
get
my
shot.
ass at home.
How can I
Stay at
stay
home.
my ass at
You
home?
can't even stay at home now.
I say that to Tone all the
Oh,
time. Like I'm
shit.
like, I stay my ass at home. That way, you
Yeah.
ain't gonna worry about nothing.
got
Yeah,
you ain't
yeah.
never gonna hear no
I'll-
stories about me. I say my
Because
ass
I'm
at
always at home.
You ain't gonna put my name on that list. No way, because I'm at home. I'm at home. But now
home. Not even a.
you can't even. Damn.
I don't even know why it makes that much of a difference, but there's a white girl who came into my house and shot me.
And shot me.
Shot me dead.
Yeah, I think her name was Amber Geiger or something like that, and his
That's
name was
wild.
Bolton.
That's just
Bolton
wild.
Jean or something like that. Dude would work at Price Waterhouse as an accountant, and gone.
That's
You know
crazy,
what?
man.
One thing that I, even though it's a fucked up thing to say, but I'll say it, and I know I think I said it earlier in an earlier podcast, or I know I've said it to one of y'all before, is that the one thing that I am happy about, and if you can be happy about anything in a situation like this, is that for once, not for once, but here recently, it's actually somebody who, knock on wood, because I ain't heard the rest of the story about him yet, but it's somebody who they can't say,
He
was a hoodlum.
He was selling
he was
crack.
a thug. He was
doing
this. He was that. He was.
Yeah.
He was out in front of the liquor store.
Accountant. Price
This-
Waterhouse.
This is an accountant
Yep.
sitting in his house,
Oh,
so they
he-
can't say
They
he's
got
a-
a.
You can't even put a bad picture of him
Yeah,
No,
it's
no, no
like-
doubt because
exactly,
they got
that's
a
what I'm saying.
they got a video of him singing in the church,
in the church.
Yeah.
the day before. Like
So
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
like-
They
it's like they-
it's like
so
dang.
so now what? So what's the loophole now? That the that the Trump supporters and stuff are going to say, you know, he was resisting arrest.
He was
He wasn't following
he was doing
directions.
numbers.
Yeah, what was he doing?
He
It's
was
like
working.
like God damn, I can't do shit. Y'all motherfuckers is everywhere.
I mean,
That's
So
a,
yeah,
that's-
it's fucked
how
up
you
shit, and
not
hopefully.
know? You're an officer of law. You could carry a gun, lethal enforcement.
well, you
And
know,
the motherfucker, she went to the wrong house.
and there's
No,
some other
legal-
points there, Eric,
legal.
what you said I think is
Motherfucker's
pretty
some
interesting.
bullshit.
She's legally allowed
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
carry her gun.
But you know,
Yeah.
this is one of those times
Check
where
and serve my
you know
ass.
usually we don't hear about the officer being arrested
Oh.
so quickly. They arrested her. I mean, in
It
my
wasn't
eye,
quick though.
it was in 48 hours.
But
That's
they-
better than the other
goddamn,
ones.
They
if
had
a
to do-
black man would have shot
That's
somebody,
better
he'd
than the
have been
other ones.
arrested. Oh, he would have been arrested on site.
That's-
If you, bruh,
that's better
if
than most
you
of them.
walk
Eric.
in,
They don't get arrested at all. They just
but
get
what I'm
suspended.
saying, what I'm saying,
Right,
Kev,
Tone? They get suspended.
But it's
paid leave.
paid
but
leave.
don't dare say.
Paid leave.
I understand, but don't dare say that at least this time they arrested him pretty quickly because what I'm comparing it to is I'm comparing it to any other crime. If a black man walks into a white person's house and shoots him, and his excuse is that, oh, this ain't my house. You don't think they
shit.
arrested that motherfucker that night? I'm not going home. I'm not going to work the next day.
They
Yeah,
didn't- they didn't
but
arrest-
that's
they didn't arrest
usually
that
the
dude in
case.
Florida.
That's usually the case,
Who?
Eric. They do not
The one
arrest
that
them,
is-
dude.
The
at
guy that
all.
stand your ground shit. They
Yeah,
didn't arrest him
they
that
just-
night.
That dude wasn't a cop though.
But he
I'm
wasn't
saying-
black.
No, the guy he
he
shot was
wasn't a
black,
cop.
but the
That's
guy in the
what-
white, but
that's-
he was just. But
That's what I'm saying. If
Right.
a black dude, or I'm sorry, if a person of color
right.
shot some white dude, he doesn't go home that night
No doubt.
and talk it over with his family and stuff like
you
that.
in that-
You
you
get
in that
arrested.
room.
You get arrested
They
right
they
then
do.
and
They
there.
would
in that
arrest him.
room.
But
These
what I'm
motherfuckers
saying,
get
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is, out of all the stories we've heard about these officers, they always get to go home on paid leave. You never hear about nobody going to arrest them.
okay,
they
but
just
the
they on
difference,
paid
Kev,
leave.
the difference is,
It's
Kev.
like shit. At least they arrested him.
Yeah, but the difference is, Kev, the difference this time around is this wasn't an officer in the line of duty.
Right.
So
She was
it's
off duty.
questionable. It's always, you got to question, was she doing her job or was he doing his job, and he had no other alternative but to shoot. This woman was off duty going home, and I mean, I need for you to find me another story. You know, not find me. You already know. It just this is one of those first time things. We ain't never heard of no shit like this.
No,
I don't think we ever heard some
creeping
shit
in
like
some
this.
different
It's
territory.
crazy.
When motherfucker sitting in his house chilling, and motherfucker come in and killing. You right.
The excuse just ain't good enough.
No,
The only thing
yeah,
I heard
that's
was
what I'm saying.
the only last thing I heard was them mistaking their taser for. I mean, they mistaken. They were supposed to pull out their taser gun,
You
but
know
they
what?
pulled out their actual gun.
You know what? I believe that. I believe that before I believe
That's a possibility.
I was in the wrong fucking apartment.
Well, I believe the
Yeah,
story
that.
that you the one
Yeah.
your speculation.
But-
As simple as that. Something might have been going on a little
She
bit.
got
She was
bailed
like,
on?
"I'm pissed off. I'm gonna take care of this shit."
Have you ever came out the mall and walked to the wrong car?
I've seen people do that.
I've done it. He said I've seen people. Shit,
I-
that was
I had
me.
a dude
I
open
would-
my
I-
car.
I've never I never actually touched the car, but I've walked down the aisle thinking that's mine. Like, oh, that ain't my shit.
Me
Kept on
and
walking.
my girl the other day was coming out of Home Depot, and just happened to be another white car that was parked in the same direction as ours,
Mhm.
and I seen it, but I knew it wasn't our car, so I just kept on walking, and she walked right up to the passenger side, then was waiting for me to open the door, and I just kept on walking past, and she was looking at me. She said, "Oh shit," but I mean, mind you, I guess I'm trying to think how that would be comparable. You would have to get in the car, actually get in the car, sit down, and start. I mean, you couldn't drive away. I guess you have to get in there, start eating the snacks in that motherfucker or something. I don't know.
Walk in and be like, it smells
For it to
different
be
in here.
comparable. You sitting, cause I wonder how long it would actually take you once you got in there. Like, man, the fucking radio is different.
I mean, there's a couple of hotel rooms I might, I might have tried, but that
I've
ain't
done
gonna
that
allow me
before,
in.
too. I've done
That's
that
not
before,
gonna allow
too.
me in.
I have at a hotel, went to the wrong room, and been
'Cause I
like,
wasn't
oh,
paying
shit,
attention
this
to the
ain't-
numbers.
Yeah, this ain't my
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, but that's easy because you probably,
Yeah, but the room ain't gonna let me in.
But the
Them
difference
key
is
cards ain't gonna let me in.
the mistake of going to the wrong room ain't the issue. The difference would be is once you got in the room
Yeah.
and got into bed with your woman and then realized that ain't
Somebody
your
else's
woman. Shit, and worse. And Chief killed him. So take it a step even further. You start fucking. And then you realize in the middle of fucking, like, this ain't my girl.
Nigga, that shit ain't going to happen.
Shit, that's what you would have said about going in there shooting a nigga that you before it happened. You would have been like, that shit ain't gonna happen.
Oh shit.
You've been hitting it like this don't feel right. Feel a little different. She throwing it back a
Bony?
little. She throwing it back a little different.
Bony
Throwing
right
it back a little well tonight. Huh?
Like, God damn, man, what do you guys? You did something
there.
different.
I don't know, but this
You been doing Kegels or something? What they call that shit?
kegels.
Like, yeah, whatever they call that
Keg-
shit. You been,
Oh,
this shit
Yeah.
feel
they doing
different.
kegels.
That's you know what? This is a crazy story. Fucking kegels.
Hey,
shit,
but
that's funny.
I don't even know what a Kegel is, bro. I heard that somewhere.
That's when they flex the
the,
hoo-ha.
the coochie muscles.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
you an expert at that, huh?
I don't know about that part.
What you know about flexing coochie muscles?
I just know that's what they do. They flex the coochie muscles to make it
I read.
stronger, tighten it. I read. I listen. I read and I listen.
Does it work for your anal, for your ass?
Oh shit.
I'm asking a question. Does it work? Can you tighten your asshole? I'm tightening mine right now. Let me see.
You can.
This boy, you got stop. Pause.
Wait a minute. Ain't nothing gay about having a tight asshole.
Pause.
What's wrong with that? I think it's gay if you got a loose asshole. If you got a nice tight, if you got a nice tight asshole,
I don't know
then-
why you gotta say nice.
I don't know.
Why you gotta say nice?
I
You
just
just
figured-
can't just take that word out.
I just figured my asshole is nice and tight.
Tight ass.
Whew,
Got a
shit.
tight ass.
I would
Anyway,
like not to
man.
discuss nothing like that. Let's move on.
Man, we all got assholes.
No, we all shitting.
So is yours tight or is it loose? Kevin look like he got a big old loose asshole. Ah,
Pause.
lips hanging all.
What? Oh hell.
I think ain't no lips just hanging all out.
This nigga right here. Boy.
Good lord.
The
The only one that talking about doing Kegel asshole moves is you. So
Is
your
it still?
asshole.
Hey,
must be
is it
loose.
still called Kegel? If it's assholes, if you're tightening your asshole up and down or tighten loose.
I think that's a boo booing.
Mm.
I think that's boo booing.
It's called. You gotta have ass
Man,
control, bro. You
this
gotta have
show
ass
is-
control, bro.
I guess if you're shitting on the front of your drawers, it might have a loose ass.
How you
Oh
shitting?
yeah.
Shit getting to the front of your
You
drawer.
could just You could just lose all kind of control.
Oh shit.
When's the last time you shit on yourself?
Oh shit, man. When I was a
You
baby.
know what? Never mind. Because we can't even tell a story. Because we
I'm
tell
not saying shit.
if we tell them stories, it'll fuck up our job.
Damn.
So I guess we can't tell. Because I know last time. Well, I don't know the last time, but I know a time Tony shitted on himself. And not
Did I
really.
shit on myself?
You didn't
or did-
shit
did
on
I
yourself.
Find something to shit.
I shitted on myself.
Damn.
Oh no, I'm for sure. I probably
I-
yeah. I fell asleep on the toilet shit. So
I did that thing where I was standing up pissing and it felt
You had a
I had to fart and thought it was gonna be a nice fart. It's oh shit. And it wasn't good. That shit ran down my leg. It wasn't even nothing. It wasn't nothing nice.
Oh shit. That's funny as shit.
Yeah, man.
man, you know.
And I wasn't at home.
Oh
So
God.
I had to take them drawers. I threw them away. I'm in a public bathroom throwing away drawers and
Wiping your ass with a hard ass tissue and shit.
man. But
That-
the
the dry
sad
paper
part
towel.
was I had the shit ran down my leg, so I had shit stain on my sock.
Ooh, you can't let it dry.
Damn.
Can't let that dry.
Yeah,
It
man.
leaves that hard water ring.
You
right?
use that soap? You use that hard
Man,
ass
I
white
did
soap?
what I did what I could do.
That lava soap.
But you gotta, I shouldn't even be telling this shit because we got people who gonna be asking me about it at work. But
So what?
yeah, it is what it is. Like they ain't shit.
Yeah, like you ain't never
Like they
shit
ain't
on
shit on
yourselves.
themselves? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Y'all shit on
But
yourselves.
yeah, it was that was a bad day.
That's funny.
I sat there, I sat around the rest of the day with no drawers on.
He came back and told me.
I had to tell my boy.
I was on the ground dying, dude. It was funny. I was like, shit. Oh well.
That's some
Alright,
funny shit, man.
I
Shitty
had
story.
to do, yeah, shit. I had to do it, man. I had to do it. That's the last time I shit on myself. That's the last.
I ain't
I
promising
mean,
that.
That's the last time. That's the last time I shit on
I ain't shit on
myself.
myself, but I might. A few times. I won't say I shit on
Ooh, that's
myself,
the
but I laid
worst.
some good wet ones. Like, God damn, wait a
That's
minute.
the worst feeling in the world when you're in that car. When you're in that car,
You
and
gotta go?
that roller coaster, because it goes down. You're like, okay, I'm good. So all of a sudden you feel that shit coming back, like, oh shit.
You try to break out, you
shit.
gotta get to the house.
Yeah, man, it's tight, and you ain't gonna make it. And it never fails when the traffic light it's gonna turn red.
Oh,
The motherfucker in front of you, he gonna go slow.
Don't
Yeah.
lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
you-
have that.
Hey.
Those timings.
And when he got home, Tony, you know that motherfucker hit that fart and put plus that motherfucking shit and that water splash on his ass.
Listen, if you got a sensitive stomach, don't ever drink instant carnation.
Hell nah.
Ain't nobody.
And no,
Oh,
and
this
don't.
Close to the shit, boy. Boom.
I remember this story. They had to stop at Starbucks.
I was like, remember I had to lift. I was driving on the freeway and I had to lift I was tightening my ass so bad.
Oh, that's the
damn.
other one. Yeah, my
I
bad.
was
That's the other
tightening my ass so bad. I lifted my butt off the car while I'm driving to find my next.
That nigga driving down the street with his ass out the seat. With his ass out the seat.
Yeah, and then I was like breathing like I was pregnant. I was like controlling my breathing, and so I found the next exit. And by the time I know it, I was just like, "Oh, that's a Starbucks."
Oh,
And then come to find out, I was like, "Oh, please!" I was like, and I was cramping too. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I'm walking in like, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna make it." So I walk in to Starbucks, and then, God dang it, the first thing I see is I go to the door, and I was thinking it was the restroom, right? So I go there, and it's got the fucking lock on it.
Gotta go with the key.
No.
Somebody's in
trying
there.
to give me they had to give me a code to punch in.
Oh, so no public use. You got to get it.
Yeah.
For the stuff. Yeah,
So
that's-
I went over. So I had to walk back again
with your
cramped
tight ass.
up, with
I
tight
told
ass,
you that's why you
cramped,
got to have a
right?
tight asshole.
ain't nothing in the world that day. So I asked them, "Hey, can I use your bathroom?" And then they gave me the code, and I went in there, and it was all bad.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he splashed that water on his ass.
Hey,
I
real-
came out that motherfucker and asked, and then I had the nerve to go, and I mind you, I just had an instant breakfast carnation thing, right, with milk, and I messed around and said, "I'm good. Let me get a caramel macchiato."
Oh, see, fuck that. I remember.
I was good. I was about to make it to work.
Hey, one more
man.
shitty
You didn't tell
story.
us
I
so?
remember. when I was in, I was a senior in high school, right? And I went to, tell them I went to Burbank, right? So between my house and Burbank, there was these railroad tracks and these apartments. And I remember, so I just wanted y'all to see. So the walk was probably I don't know, 10, 15 minute walk maybe.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was sitting in like third period one day, and I had that thing where I don't like using public bathroom, especially when I was a kid. I was like, I don't like using public bathroom. You never shit at school anyway. We just didn't shit at school.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, so it was third period. My stomach, I got the bubble guts. My stomach just bubbling, bro. I'm like, all of a sudden it hit me one good time, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta use the bathroom. So I realized I had to use the bathroom. So I go up and I ask the teacher, can I use the bathroom? And she's like, yeah, go ahead. Like, remember, I ain't shitting at school. I walked out that classroom, bro, and I just started striking. I walked across the football field, hit them railroad tracks. And what's funny is after I got over the railroad tracks, it's apartments, right? After I come out the apartments, is my house. And when I get to the apartments, by this time, every 4 or 5 steps, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I mean, stop. When I say stop, I gotta stop in the middle of the street where I'm at. I'm stopped. And you talking about tight booty, man, I was sucking. Just hold it.
Yeah.
And I would have to wait for that. I had to wait for that. I call it peaks and valleys. I gotta wait for that. Go back down again.
Yeah. They got that wave.
Them turtles.
Poke
Poke his head out.
No.
Come back
You
in.
don't want.
So I stopped. I was
risk.
stopped, and the turtle pull his head back in, and and I'll take off again. Start walking, bro. I got home, man. I don't know. I remember my dad was home. I don't know why he was home, but he was home, man. And I came in that house, boy. Ran in that bathroom, boy. I just knew I wasn't gonna make it that time though, but I made it. Shit Chronicles.
No,
Anyway.
there's more, but damn.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch more.
Man.
Oh shit.
But anyway,
We'll save it.
I don't even know how we got off on that.
You?
we gonna push on.
Oh god, damn.
Oh man.
Shout out to Starbucks.
Hey man, man. I tried to bring this up one time. You killed me on this one. You said, man, we ain't about to talk about these 2 damn women. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
But now,
Who?
Cardi and Nicki.
I heard they try to get hands on each other.
What?
So
This is it went well past a rap beef.
they was at bullshit. They was at what is it, New York Fashion Week or some
Yeah,
shit?
Harper's Bazaar.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't think is the for real true story. Is it out or everybody's? Because to me, it's still kind of out. Like really, ain't nothing set. Like this is what happened.
Well, Cardi was saying that Nicki went too far. She said something about how she's raising her daughter.
Well,
or
she
something.
said she been talking shit. I guess she got that Sirius radio show, or whatever. She been,
Yeah.
But she ain't been saying it like directly. It's been like dropping shit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping shit. So there was like dropping, what do you call that? Subliminal, like,
Oh, yeah.
where you talking about somebody, but you ain't really saying their names and shit. So I guess it's been getting a little messy and shit, and they seen each other at the fashion weekend in New York Fashion Weekend. So from what I hear, I don't know what was said. I don't know who said who said what to who. I just heard that Cardi B kind of came at her like, you need to have that same energy. All that shit you talking now, I'm here, now what? What's good? And I don't know who held who, but I heard that Cardi took her shoe off and threw it at her.
Damn.
And I heard there's a big, little tussle with security and shit. And in the tussle, I heard that Nicki Minaj is one of her bodyguards, security guards, elbowed Cardi B in the head and left a knot on her head. A lot of people are trying to make it sound like Oh shit. Oh shit. We watching the game. We watching the game at the same time.
Goddamn.
Uh,
Distracted.
a lot of people trying to make it seem like security jumped on Cardi B, but from what I hear, it was an accident. Like withholding them and trying to get them out of there, she accidentally got like elbowed in the head or some shit. So
That was a nice knot.
yeah, so that's
I mean,
what I'm hearing.
With these rap beefs, is the
You
shit
go
going
with
too
this rap
far?
beef.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's going too far where you have to personally talk about them raising their kids. I mean, back in the day, man, you know, it was about skills. You know, you talked
Yeah,
about
but you
another
could talk
person's
about-
skills and talked a little bit of shit about maybe their appearance or this or that. But you never really got into them being a mother or a father or their parents and all this other shit. Is the shit getting too far? I mean, is anything off limits?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I'm not for sure, but I'm sure they're not the first rappers to bring up take care of your kids. Are you a deadbeat dad or something? I'm sure.
Oh
I'm
no,
sure,
we just heard that with Drake and Pusha T.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm sure folks have said it before. I just you know,
My question is still the same. Should some shit be off limits? Like, come on, man. We all trying to make money. They doing they jobs. They entertainers.
a
Are
new
we
era.
going too far?
It's a new
it
era.
depends. You know what? There's a difference. Yeah, you're right. I think some things should be off limits.
Tone?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
Some
we should
things
worry
should
about
be
your
off-
skills. The other
Some
than,
things should be off limits. You're right.
Yeah, because everybody makes a big deal when somebody coming at you with lyrics, and then you just talk about how much money you got.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, "Oh, that's lame. Why you gonna let nobody give a
no
damn
doubt.
about your
We want to hear.
Yeah,
we
but we
want to hear
talking
the
about.
lyrics,
But
right?
right now we talking about shit that's off limits.
right?" But that's what I'm saying. Like nobody wants to hear that, but at the same time,
Yeah,
it
but
should
money
be.
shit ain't off limits.
Yeah, but
that doesn't hurt anybody.
It doesn't hurt
That's
nobody.
just shit talking. But when you're talking about and where I think that it becomes where it really hurts people is I think when it's true. Like for instance, if
Oh,
like if they talking about your mama being a crackhead or something like that, if it's true, when it's true, that's when it hurt. They're talking about your wife and your wife is a certain way and they calling that out. Damn, that Coke was loud as hell. When what they're saying about your woman, your wife, or whatever is true, your kids is true. Like if there's some kind of learning disability that your kid has or something, when they say that shit, when it's true, it hurts. Now you could take the same person and say that shit about their kid. Your kid got a learning disability, and if your kid ain't got no learning disability, he just saying the shit. It
Yeah.
doesn't come across the same way. It's just kind of like oh, you just talking shit and whatever, you know. So that's why I kind of paused a little bit when you first said it, because I was thinking when you talking shit and this shit is true, it kind of like if my daughter has some type of physical you know what I'm trying to say, something wrong with her physically or something wrong with her mentally,
Handicap.
handicap,
Yeah.
and you were talking about it,
type of disability.
it would strike me a certain way. But at the same time, if my daughter was nothing wrong with her and she was, you know, a pretty young lady and you decided to say that she's, you know, physically something wrong with her,
Yeah,
it
it'd be
probably
like-
I would be like, it wouldn't hit me the same way. I'd just
Right.
be like, we're charging, we're talking shit. So it you know, it depends. It depends.
It's a whole new era.
I think you bring a valid point. When if you taking rap battles to the point where you charging on each other, and I can understand that. I mean, you know, certain things happen. You know, that's just like a good old fats and sitting around the garbage can talking shit about each other. I can
Nigga,
understand.
what
that.
is it with you with sitting around a garbage can? You said that shit before about charging. I ain't never sat around no garbage can. He always say that shit. He always say sitting around a garbage can charging. I'm like,
Some winos around a fire pit.
hey, I ain't never sat around no garbage can. nigga. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
hey, let me
Where
say
you wanna
this.
sit at?
Let
Let's
me
go
say-
sit at. Where the
let me
garbage
say
can at?
this.
Let's go sit
You-
at garbage can.
Is that when they lit the
That-
little
that's funny.
can?
That's funny because we
Put
used to
fire
we used to
on?
sit back out and burn shit in the garbage can at night and talk shit about each other. You know what I mean? So,
I ain't
I always
never
say
did
that
that.
dumb
That
shit.
shit.
That's just some bullshit we should do in the ghetto. That's some bullshit.
Ain't nobody doing
You
that
can't do that
shit.
shit in the ghetto. You can't burn shit in the city.
Hey, we used to do it.
Your country ass was doing that shit out in the country.
Hey, that was in the country. We did that shit there too. Whenever I went, wherever we went.
That
That
sounds
nigga-
like an apocalypse.
That nigga took me to his parents' house, and they live way out there in the country.
Hey, that's just where it goes.
Oh, they make bonfires and
This
shit
nigga
like
out there,
that.
Hey.
Where his parents at right now, nigga, you could, they got barns and hay and everything else. I think the closest thing to the city there is a golf course.
Shout out to Lodi, California.
Oh Lord.
Man,
Sons
see?
of Anarchy around that motherfucker. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I noticed out that way.
That and what's that shit? What's the name of that
The
drug?
golf course
What's the name of that one drug they
and the
use?
wine, right? They make wine.
No,
all
the
that
drug.
wine.
The what's that shit that?
Molly?
Hell no.
Damn, they
I'm
make
talking about
Molly
that.
in Lodi?
I'm talking about in Lodi and shit.
What they making in Lodi?
That fucking
Meth?
meth.
What? It's
That's
a meth
what
capital?
sounds good. No, it ain't no meth capital.
Oh,
nigga.
okay.
It's just
I
meth
thought
out
that was
there.
a nice little quite
Country, nah, country always got hella meth heads.
those quaint country towns.
But
I think
anyway,
it's
so,
a wine.
like you said, the rap, you know,
Maybe
these
good wine,
these
right.
beefs is out of hand because then you end up being like Drake and your boy Mill Meek. What happens then?
So
You got to invite him on stage and
Okay,
and
so
have a good
Nope.
time with
This
him.
It's called growing up.
What?
this is okay. I understand where you coming from, Tone. This is the issue I got with it. So I'm all for these niggas, squashing it.
Right.
Shake hands, whatever. It's cool. Like you say, it's beef. It's rap beef.
Right.
So I'm all for that. But when you listen to Drake bringing them up on stage, and he says that bullshit about how this is one of my favorite rappers. He's one of the best. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you taking it a little too far now. All he had to do was say, this is some shit that got out of hand, but I respect this dude, and we squash that so. My man, Meek Mill. But all that bullshit about this is one of the best rappers, one of my favorite rappers, and all, I'm like, bro, you putting way too much on that shit. When you just talking all that shit about him,
Yeah,
way too much.
I'm just
I like that shit.
glad. I'm just glad to see it because
Why?
it just shows growth. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like Meek learned. Hopefully he learned his lesson.
What's that?
Just keep your ass out of fucking trouble. You see what you went through. You see they coming for your head.
I mean, but what's that got to do with Drake? The Drake.
Well,
and-
I mean, Meek is
So
to the
what's
point where
the-
he's gonna grow up.
but
right?
what's the lesson? I mean, 'cause I know what you're talking about, but that lesson is more from being in jail.
Right.
I'm talking about, is there a lesson to be learned from Drake and Meek?
I mean,
Ain't no
if they're gonna learn a lesson, I'm just glad they
Ain't no fucking lesson there.
it just showed to me. It just showed them growth where it's like, yeah, it was a beef. I mean, we can go back and like Ice Cube was cool with Eazy-E. He got cool with Drake and all them. Eventually,
No,
no.
he wasn't cool with Easy. He never got cool back with Easy.
Well, if he didn't make it to the hospital or something like that on time, but I'm sure they, in some way or another, they
They squashed their
it.
beef.
Why, he died before that?
I think Dr. Dre and Easy E wasn't on good terms when they died.
Dr. Dre?
I don't think
Oh, you
Dr.
mean Ice Cube.
I don't think Dr. Dre. I don't think Dr. Dre was on good terms with Easy when he died.
Coach just one he went to see him at the
I
hospital.
thought he was.
He went to go see him, but they weren't on good terms. That was Dr. Dre, like you say, growing up, saying that no matter what their situation is, we was homies before, but they never were back on good terms. Because remember, out of them, I don't even think, and this is my opinion, but I don't even think it was Dre so much. I
Well-
think Eazy-E was the petty one there. Eazy-E was like, I ain't fuck them motherfuckers. Remember Eazy-E when he got his whole new group, got his
Yeah.
whole other boys to be like, fuck Dre.
Well, here's my thing, and I don't know if this is true because I only seen the movie. I didn't read. I didn't read no literature on this. But I remember in the movie, them sitting at Eazy's house before Eazy has a stroke, saying, "I can't wait till Dre and them get over here. You know, I can't wait till him hear my new beats and rhymes." Remember all them dudes was all sitting in the house.
Nah, I
They
don't
was all
remember
talking
that.
about. You remember that part when
It
they
was
all
like,
sitting there?
was it Jay and Nas? They
All I
squashed
can
that
go
shit.
by, I can go by is what I remember when Easy died.
Mm.
And when
remember too.
Easy died, he was still putting out shit.
Talking straight shit.
He was still putting out all that shit. And remember, that's one of the issues they have with the movie, is that this is real Dre coded. What I'm saying is, it paints Dre to be such a good guy, when in reality they're saying Dre's not this guy. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that Dre, as far as like beating up
D. Barnes,
and then beating up Michelle A.
Michelle A.
and all that. He leaves all the bad Dre shit out,
Mm-hmm.
and he paints himself to be this certain person. But whether that's true or not, what I'm saying is that my memory and what seemed to be out in the public. This is before we were able to go online and see everything that was actually going on. But back then, I just remember Eazy-E was never cool with Dre. Now, it could have been without us knowing something that they were trying to fix.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the public, and I call myself a real NWA head, big fan back then. I was a big fan of NWA, big fan of Eazy-E, Ice Cube, all of them. It just seemed like at that time they were still like basically fuck each other. They weren't trying to fuck with each other. Now Dr. Dre was starting to patch it up with Ice Cube at that time. They were getting back cool. They were trying to.
Right.
But Eazy-E didn't have shit to do with Dre.
Yeah,
Remember,
I remember the documentary. I just remember
because Eazy-E was
in the
saying some
movie-
horrible shit about Dre. He was saying some wild shit about Dre.
I remember in the movie that Easy comes up to Cube and they're in the club and they let him talk to him and he was like, man, we got to squash this shit and blah blah blah. And Cube tell him, if Dre's with it, I'm with it. Then they would get together.
Yeah.
That's all I remember in the movie. So I say I didn't read the book, so I don't know how it really go down.
There's a
Over
book?
Cube. I'm assuming there's always a book when there's a movie, right?
Nah, nigga, there's movies without books.
I mean, Ice Cube didn't write a book, or Easy.
I don't
Nobody.
know, man.
Easy's wife
You
didn't
just
write a
assume
book,
that because there's a movie, there's a book.
I assume that there's some kind of literature to the shit. That's usually what happens.
I mean,
I could be
that's called
wrong.
a script.
Look it up.
I mean, it might be one. I'm just wondering because I ain't never heard of it. I'm sure somebody wrote one though.
Somebody done wrote some shit. Somebody had to write that shit down.
Did LL Cool J and
Probably DJ
There's
Yellow.
a lot of
Probably
beats,
DJ
though.
Yellow wrote it.
But like you said, there's a lot of beefs. And
yeah, but
shit's crazy.
there's been beefs and they got over it. And
DJ
it's
Yellow.
over and done with.
I just
mean,
heard you.
I
DJ
mean,
needed that money. DJ Yellow needed that money. I wrote the
Yep.
book.
He said, I'm writing the book. Fuck it. Y'all niggas still rapping. I can't rap.
I'm
Yeah,
just
but
a product.
I just hope they don't make the mistake and try to do a collab on the album. I don't. They just two different styles. Drake and Meek. It's way two different styles.
They could probably pull it off, but
they could.
ain't nobody. I'm old, so I know nobody cares, but I ain't waiting on that song. I ain't waiting on that shit.
I should watch that shit be fire.
That's bullshit.
And I'd be like, what?
I don't know about trying to hear it. You know what? I ain't
Fuck
really on Meek Mill like that.
I like some of his shit.
Yeah, I like some of his shit. I'm not really.
Y'all know Meek Mill song?
I like
No.
it when he did Sophisticated with the.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Damn. I forgot. That's how long that shit
I
was.
said I don't like it, but I don't even know it.
But I mean, for young guys to get over that bullshit and show a little bit more growth,
You know what I think?
that just makes it for a better show.
So you gonna talk to Eminem?
Probably
'Cause
better albums.
Eminem just going off on everybody. You gonna talk to him?
Would I?
Tony said, show some growth. Eminem ain't showing no growth.
Shit, Eminem's an old head.
He an old head. That's what I'm saying.
he
He ain't trying to
old.
grow at all. He said, fuck it. I'm just going in.
Eminem will make up with anybody. Only people he ain't gonna make up with is basically them old.
You said Caucasians.
Yeah, that's what how you know that's what I was thinking.
He said
Think
he be
about it,
going
'cause
off on
I
Fred
think
Durst.
I think everybody else he cool with and shit.
That's funny.
I thought that Meek Mill and Drake, I think that they both don't. I think they both don't want it. You know what I'm saying? I
You
think
talking about
that Drake.
They both
I think-
swinging that air.
So I think Drake I think Drake, money wise, he's not worried. But just on lyric, not. I mean, yeah. So business wise, I don't think that Drake's worried about it. I think that socially, being able to do what it is you do, be out. I think that kind of Drake looks at, okay, who's my enemies? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're Drake, Tone, if you're Drake, figure your life is beautiful right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's some of the things that's kind of holding me back right now? I got beef with Meek. So when I go places, I gotta deal with that. If I squash that, now I'm good. I'm just good to do whatever the fuck I want because there's nobody really stopping you from living your life. Meek Mill, and on the other hand, Meek Mill is financially good for him to squash.
Yeah, but he's always walking on thin ice, though.
Who?
Meek.
Why you say
He's
that?
got all that baggage. He ain't trying to get in trouble. Drake can get in trouble all you want. They gonna just send him back to Canada.
I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about them being together. I'm not talking about.
No,
I'm talking about their stuff. I'm not talking about what it is.
that's what I'm saying. I don't see a problem with being friends. They squashed it.
Yeah, you say that now, but it was a problem. It was a problem 2-3 months ago when the fuckers was talking all that shit with each other. So I don't know. I don't know where all the hatred came from in the get go. People say it's
Nikki.
that's what they see. And that's what they try to stay away from. They say it wasn't that, but I think that's what it is too.
I mean,
You laying up with your girl, and then all of a sudden she get a phone call from Drake talking about, look, we got business. You need to be at the studio, and like 10 minutes ago, you need to be here. And she putting she put Meek on hold. Like, I gotta go. I got business. He like, this nigga controlling where my woman at. What he do?
oh, she about business, man.
What she do?
She about business.
You
If
think?
she has to, she will.
Maybe.
Shit. It's Drake.
Whether she about it or not.
Consistently putting out albums.
Whether she about it or not, what I'm saying is that when you got a man with his woman, and then her, y'all don't see me, but I'm putting quotations up. Her boss calls and like, okay, I need you here like 10 minutes ago, and then she stops everything and cuts because they got this going on. As a man sitting at home, you kind of like, the fuck. So Tony called. So every time Tony calls, you just drop what you doing and go. And she like, yeah, that's money. That's this and that. And not to mention
Exposure.
For regular niggas like us, we might take that answer and be like, oh, okay, it's money. But for a nigga like Meek Mill, who's in the business that does music, he's kind of like, man, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
We can make. We know what's he doing for you that we can't do over here, whether it's true or not.
He wasn't in his business mind.
So I mean, yeah. So
He's young. He ain't in that business mind.
but
That's
if
the
okay,
thing.
I got a question for you. I got a question for y'all.
Well, go ahead.
If you Meek Mill, do you really want a relationship with Nicki Minaj?
No, I don't.
What do you think?
Nah.
Cause I'm like, why? Why would you want to?
I don't know who came at who first. I don't know how they wound up together, but
It's like if you in the business, and she in the business, and mind you, the business is you a player. You a rich cat that's got.
It's part
You
of
know,
the rap image.
Yeah, that's your thing. You all about. You got everything. You the baller, right? And her image is she's sexy, 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 and everybody want to fuck her, and can't nobody handle her because her sex is so good. I mean, she says this stuff, so I'm not like I'm making it up. The shit
Yep.
that she's saying, is
Don't
that
talk
what
about
you
power
really?
for hours.
That's what you want to hook up to? Why invite that stress up in your life when you can pull any chick you want to, and be about, and be bitches that be women that nobody know.
yeah. But the thing is these guys,
wouldn't want
man,
that.
image is
I'm with you,
everything,
Eric. I don't
man.
want that.
Image is everything.
Exactly. Image is everything. So why
Image
would
is
you want
everything?
that? So why would you
that
want?
was the image.
I mean, I'm not saying, but she, you know what? Fuck it. I say it. She got the whole image. So why would you want the whole image? Why do you want your
Nobody don't
woman?
give a damn.
Why would you want your woman to have the whole image? That's what I don't understand. Now, taking pictures, being out where everybody can see you and everybody, oh, they're gonna be, and you with the popping hoe, everybody's like, check out. Okay, that's cool.
He said the
But
popping
when you're
hoe.
talking about that's my woman, why would you want your woman to be that hoe? Because I hate to say it, because it sounds fucked up to say, but the image that she has, she beautiful. She's she raps cool. Her business, everything about her entertaining part is cool. But on the other hand, she still comes across as the hoe.
Yeah.
Anytime you talking about sucking dick and how you suck it and when you suck it and how you can't all her songs are saying this shit. It's like I understand the song, but at the same time, do you want that? I mean, is that your chick?
He don't think it that way. He's probably just thinking it just.
We don't know
just
he
an
don't
artist.
think it that way because
We
he
don't
might-
know either,
he
but at the
might
same
be
time,
you might have a problem with it.
Well, we can't just assume that she does whatever it is that she talks about.
No.
But
That
that's what
probably
she's
wouldn't be
put-
the main
But
reason.
you said image. That's what I'm saying.
Image.
You
Yeah,
said
the main
image.
reason I
That's the
probably
image
would
she's
want
putting
to
out
have
there.
her as
Right.
my
But for
chick.
Meek, he's young,
Yeah.
rich,
Yeah.
sort.
She
I
supposed to be
guess
one of the
he's
bad-
successful. Why
supposed to
not
be one
have
of
the
bad
next
chicks
baddest
in the
chick
game.
out there?
Yeah, the baddest chick in the game. so
That's
he
not.
probably
But
wanna get
see,
with her.
I understand what y'all saying with that, but
That's not, I wouldn't.
He
want to
doesn't
do
look
it,
at
though.
that as that.
we don't
Oh,
know
she a
that
hoe?
though.
But I don't. But he doesn't care.
You
Obviously,
keep saying that, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe it was an issue. Maybe it is an issue when you. I
is.
guarantee you, bro. No matter. I mean, I'm not gonna say no matter who, but for a lot of people, even if your chick bad as hell, you got a problem with your chick talking about sucking dick
in public.
and everything else
Yeah.
with everything. I mean, even if that's her job, sucking dick. I mean, if that's her, even if that's her job, being
actress. This guy
being the
was-
rapper or something, whatever it is. I'm saying you
Right.
talking about it,
Right.
and then you talking. A lot of times people want to say, "Oh, there's a hidden message in there." Oh, is he talking? Is she talking to Drake? Oh, is she talking
Pillow
to?
talk.
Oh, she's talking to Safari. Oh, she's talking about this. I guarantee you, he has an issue when you talking about that kind of shit. So that's the thing that I'm talking about. It's kind of like,
I
if
would
you're-
love to be that fly on the wall.
if you're in that position, why go after that chick?
Right.
The difference between somebody like a Jay-Z and Beyonce is Beyonce's not singing about sucking dick and shit. And even if she was to sing about sucking dick, it would be only to her man that, you know what I'm saying? It would be some kind of loyalty, kind of like respectful kind of shit. I don't know how you can be
Yeah.
respectfully sucking dick, but I'm sure this is
I,
what
I respectfully suck dick.
yeah, respectfully.
Pause.
Hey, I don't know if I want some respectful dick sucking.
but
I know that don't even sound sexy. You can keep that respectable
Hey, yeah,
dick
keep
sucking
that,
to
keep
yourself.
that shit,
there's
man.
no
I-
such thing. But
I want that wild
Hey,
flip
Tone,
and
so-
shit.
there is.
Hey,
There is. There
Hey,
is.
hey, Tone. So you was that old girl last night and shit. How'd that go, man? Oh, nigga,
was-
she respectfully sucked my dick.
Respectfully.
Oh, damn, nigga. That's too bad.
That's too, I'm sorry, bro.
That's
I'm
too
sorry.
bad,
I don't
nigga.
know,
I'm
it's all
sorry.
due respect.
'Cause I want you to do
Put
mine.
some-
I want
hey,
you to
you
do
put
my.
some respect on
I
that.
want
dick.
some. I want some of that shit. I can't even
hella
look at your ass.
disrespectful dick sucking.
No, I want that
shit.
kind of shit. I'm like, you want some water? Nah, yeah, nah, I'm cool.
Listen, we don't know
I don't want
what
nothing back
happened
from you.
between them two, but
I want the most
You know what?
disrespectful suck dick you've ever seen in my
if
life.
Meek is doing better without her, then so be
Hey,
it.
see,
Yeah,
Eric,
whatever.
how you doing, Eric? Babe, you look hot. You want some of my water? Oh, no, I'm cool.
I don't even want to deal with you no more. I don't even want to talk to you no more. You're so
No,
disrespectful.
No,
Oh,
I'm cool.
disrespectful ass.
Just take that. Anyway,
Oh, shit. Let's push on. Before we get into that major topic. Nah, fuck it. Let's get into that major one.
major.
What's that?
What's the major topic?
Serena Williams.
I thought we did that.
Serena Williams.
So
Woo.
I feel maybe we should have talked about this earlier because I mean I have a feeling it's gonna go for a minute.
Yeah.
So I mean I think most people know what happened with Serena. I call it a meltdown, but I've been told that that's not what we're supposed to say when it comes to her because they're saying that that's a sexist statement, saying that she had a meltdown. I think it was a meltdown.
So, do you think she had a right to melt down?
So are you gonna tell what happened or? Do we need
Shit,
to tell?
you said people know. I mean, we could go.
Well, I
Go
mean,
ahead, you tell it. Go ahead, tell it.
so from my understanding, she was playing. I guess.
Naomi Osaka.
So they're
Championship,
exactly they're in
U.S. Open.
tennis match. So and I'm speaking on a person who doesn't know tennis. So I guess one of the rules of tennis is that you can't be looking over at your coach and your coach is coaching you from the side, sending you signs, basically coaching you from the side. That's not allowed in tennis. So I guess allegedly she was caught looking at her coach, and the coach, you know what? We can take away the allegedly, because the coach is admitted to coaching her up from the side. So
Yeah,
he
but
was
no more than any other coach.
okay, but it's not allowed. No, it's not. Don't say that. It's not no more than any other coach. I know what you're saying. They're saying that coaches do it, and sometimes that they look past it, and sometimes they don't. But the rule is the rule. So I guess she was caught with her coach, getting signs or being coached up from the side. So that's basically what happened.
I started it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when the official called her out on it, I guess that's when the blow up started. She said that you're calling me a cheater. I'm not. I've never cheated this whole thing, and she goes into her whole,
Rant.
yeah, about how she's never cheated and she's offended that she's being called a cheater. Y'all can jump in anytime too, cause my thing is okay. She went to the woman card quick about how if she was a man, there wouldn't be any issue. So
She
okay.
brought up examples too of people of men players going off on the
Well,
judge
hang on,
or
hang on,
whatever
hang on,
it
hang
is.
on.
Yeah.
The thing is that okay, she was warned. That's what people are throwing out. She was warned. She kept. I wish we had the audio. We probably need to play the audio, Kev. If you can find that real quick, because it is out there. Because she goes into after she's accused of I guess cheating. She it just turns into something to me way bigger, because I felt like she could have said what she had to say real quick, and she could have continued with the match, because it was a warning, but she took it to the next level, and then to the next level, and to the next level, and I felt like when people say that the ref took the match from her, I felt like she kind of took it from herself, because if playing the match was that important, if you felt like it was that important to finish it, I just felt like you could have, bit your tongue for a minute and been like, you know what, I'll deal with you later. Let me whoop this girl's ass real quick. Which I think she was losing at the time.
Yeah,
But she was like, she could have been like, let me whoop this girl's ass real quick, and now I'm gonna get back to you. But she decided to, throw the racket, bust up the racket and stuff. She decided to call him a thief, say that, she started telling him how he'll never work another match of hers again, and she just went into a lot of unnecessary stuff that I felt like she could have skipped. But with all that being said, do you think that maybe it was something that was dealt with differently because she was a woman? Uh,
Go ahead, Tom.
I mean,
I think,
the,
man.
the examples that I've heard
Mhm.
it's like they've done it the same, and it's the same judge. They're talking about the same official. He's warned tons of other guys for the same type of disrespect. So it's like they have it on record where they're
Right.
showing them. Then I think the last one was something about it in the Olympics. He had just did it to somebody in the Olympics. So
I
Go
think
ahead.
she just kind of flipped out of pure frustration because
frustration of losing.
possibly that, or I mean, they got on her about her clothes. There was like you said,
But she was riding
those
that like, but she was kind of riding that like a champ though. She was doing well with that. She was like, oh, they want to do that, and when she showed
Yeah,
up the
she
next
showed up
week
in
in
the
the cat,
tutu.
in the tutu.
Right.
So it's kind of like she was
Right.
winning on that. Basically, she was winning.
Right. I mean, but she's like, okay, I'll do that, whatever. But then she also has, like you said, those examples where one of the girls, again, it was hot. One of the girls took her shirt off. She still had whatever underneath, while the men,
like a sports bar, right?
right.
Yeah.
But then they told her to put it back, so she put it back. But then men got to take their shirts off at the match, not playing, but when they're on the side, they were actually able to take their shirts off, like there was no problem because it was hot. She was hot and she was playing, so that was another one. And I mean, if anybody ever really watched tennis or anything, I mean, there is John McEnroe who just dropping f-bombs left and right to each one, and
But that's one of the examples that you can use as on both sides.
right.
He got away with a lot,
Mm.
but he also got a lot of discipline. Got a lot of matches he was thrown
Yeah.
out of. But there's a lot.
Yeah.
So when you use him as an example, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to use him because he's been on both sides of it. He's been.
Hey, yeah, I think as far as McEnroe, he don't care. He just blur out whatever the hell you want. You want to, if I'm gonna lose for you taking points, I just lose, but I'm gonna make my point.
Yeah.
And, I think for hers, and you know how emotional she got. For her was that emotional side just seemed like it was a woman that's frustrated as hell, and she just couldn't like contain herself.
I think that you lose. Substance in your argument when you start throwing in. And mind you, I understand emotions get the best of you. But when you start telling people, when you start pulling, like you was talking earlier with rap,
Power move.
yeah, when you talking earlier with rap beef, and you start talking about money,
Right.
and stuff, like, what does that got to do with lyrical? You know what I'm saying? So when you're mad at a person for saying you was cheating, which you allegedly were doing, I mean, it's kind of funny the coach is saying it did happen. When you're getting accused of that, and then you start telling them about how you're never going to work another this, and
Yeah.
that's where I felt like she took it, to a whole where it's hard for you to stand behind. It's like, okay, I'm with you,
Right.
but don't start being stupid about. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to use the word stupid, but
Yeah.
don't start being to the point where you're making it hard for me to back you up.
Ooh, and then what would have killed it if she used that card? You know who I am card.
What?
So
I didn't say she did. I'm just saying that would have killed the whole argument. Like
well,
that would have been
well,
it.
she basically did that when she said, "You'll never work."
Yeah, I
never
know.
work
Never
on
work
my-
But
on
man.
another match of mine. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But
got
then,
power moves.
so we come in today, and then Kevin hits us with something else that just happened with the, I guess with the English
London writer. Yeah.
press.
Yeah. He's a cartoonist, and he does his article, and it's got a picture of Serena. She's looks like an overswole baby brat, and she's got these big old thick lips, and big old hair,
nose,
big old
big old
nose, and she's like screaming with a pacifier on the ground, and she's flipping out. And then they show the Osaka girl. Her name is Osaka, right?
I don't know.
Naomi Osaka. Yeah.
Naomi Osaka, and this is really a killer. it looks like she's a white girl with blonde hair. Looks kind of
They make her
totally different. They don't even make
They
her
made
look
her.
like
They make her look. I got the quotes up again.
yeah,
They make her look like the pretty hot.
yeah.
The
You know,
innocent
like-
20-year-old.
And
And
they
it-
just really, I mean, it's offensive
So
for
it
you
shows.
to even
It,
go
yeah,
at
it
it
shows
like that,
what
man.
how you view
Yeah,
her.
which is, I mean, this is the
and I'll
number
be
one
first-
player in
I'll
the
be- I
world,
don't
and
wanna
you
sound-
acting like that.
I don't want to sound like all righteous on my thing, because there's people who know me, who are gonna say, I know he's not about to act like he's never talked shit about Serena.
Mm-hmm.
I have talked shit about Serena. I might have done it on air. I don't know. Talking about her eyebrows and shit. Did I do it on there?
I don't believe so.
She got some crazy, man. She got some wild ass eyebrows. And
She still
yeah,
is
I did.
one
Remember
hell of
we
an
did.
athlete,
I think from the beginning, but that ain't got nothing to do. I hear you, Kev, but that ain't got shit to do with how she looks. And truthfully, we shouldn't even be discussing her looks. She's an athlete.
No.
She's known for playing tennis and basically
Bouncing back from having a kid and almost dying.
that's what we're supposed to be judging her on. I mean, not judging her on, but that's what we're supposed to be paying attention to her about is her game, how she plays. But all that being said, she is a I'm not gonna say sex figure, but she is a pop icon that we judge all different types of ways. And because she's on different covers of magazines, besides Sports Illustrated, she's on fashion magazines. We've seen her naked,
Nike, Sports
you know,
Illustrated.
on I think that Sports Illustrated magazine. Wasn't she one of the people who,
Oh,
had
the
it
body?
covered? Yeah, the body magazine. So there's a I guess there's a point where we can say we actually can judge her on her looks. She puts it out there for us. She does fashion. She does a lot of things. So when I see
Yeah,
them crazy ass eyebrows, I gotta speak on 'em. They're crazy. And like I said, there's times that she doesn't. Now I do remember saying that. I remember it was during when we was talking about the royal wedding, and she was there, and I was saying that I don't know if she just don't do it for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The younger Serena, for some reason, I was more into her. This older Serena now, I don't know what it is about her. She just doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't do it. She doesn't really do it for me, which is, it's not here or there. Who cares? Well, how I feel about Serena, but
But
I
this
will
is out
say
of hand.
when I saw the cartoon though, yeah, that's a race. That's a
That's
racist.
right.
Fucked up.
And
And it shows how they think about her.
and just to make sure I got this right, he's from Australia.
It's the Sun Herald.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Okay.
So it's just inappropriate in this time in 2018. I mean, to sneak in this little racism. I mean, because okay, maybe Serena's not your cup of tea, or maybe you don't like Serena, but there's a lot of women out there that are of professional stars or whatever it is, and maybe other people don't like them, but you don't make those kind of images of them, making them look in bad light. You don't go out there and say that. So why are
Kev,
you doing this to Serena?
Okay, so what do we say? And it's just us, all of us not knowing. We just found out who the guy, we're just reading the story and we're figuring out, we're just seeing his art. So what do we say if we look into his art and we see that he's doing this with everybody? It's just not Serena. He's got pictures of Donald Trump looking crazy. He's got cartoon pictures of every woman, every man being over exaggerated. You see, he's got pictures of Oprah. He's got pictures of Hillary. He's got pictures, and they all are over exaggerated. I mean, because we've all seen these pictures of, how many pictures do we see of Donald Trump that looks crazy?
Oh yeah.
So I'm saying, if that's what he does, are we still upset because of the race? And it still makes it's still a racial example or cartoon of her. But are we still that upset when we see that he's doing it to everybody?
This
Yeah,
is a-
that would be his argument.
This is a hard reality that we need to face, and this is just something we just need to talk about and not get over, but understand the sensitivity of Black Americans or Black people in general. If there was no history to it, to them making cartoons or them making blackface or whatever it is, there probably would be no problem with them doing what they do. But since it was used to degrade black people, there's a problem. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to. If there was no history in it, Eric, and they were all doing all this stuff, everybody'd be cool. Everybody be like, oh, well, hey, he making cartoon figures. They all look the same, no biggie. But like I know, through the course of time, that's what they used to do. That's how they used to draw black people with the extra big lips, pink, and the big ass nose and all that other crazy shit they would put out there to call, this is what black people are. This is what black people, how they look, and this is how you should react to them.
The only question I have to that is, and not saying I don't agree with you, but okay, I got two questions.
Okay.
One would be that if you're doing it to other people, like I want to use Donald Trump as an example. If you're using Donald Trump and you're painting them orange and you're doing the hair, and I don't know what features white people have, but if they got like I know he's got them cheeks that's red all the fucking time, and whatever it is, the pointy nose, whatever it is that features that white people have, if you're doing that and you're exaggerating it, is it okay to do because in the big picture, that's all art. It might be comedic art, but it's art. So at what point is it all right? Because the thing about it is, if he's going to say, I'm not going to say his argument would be, I'm doing it all the time with Rosie O'Donnell. I'm doing it all the time with Trump. I'm doing it all the time with these. Nothing's being said.
Right.
As soon as I do it to a black person, and I exaggerate quotes again, I did that 4 times now. Saying black features.
Right.
Now it's an issue. And then my other question, so you can speak on it, is if you keep, again, I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I'm saying that if we keep talking about our history, and they know what we've been, they need to realize what you said. They need to start realizing what we've been through and stuff, and take that into consideration. At what time does it become okay? Now it's been long enough. Let's start over. Let's get to a starting point where everybody's either equal, or everybody, better yet, everybody's fair game. I'm talking about everybody.
That's a hard question, because I think there will never come a time where
it's okay.
It's okay and we're equal.
See, that's
the reason why it'll never come a time, in my eye, that it'll ever be equal is because of the large disparity in racial divides. There are way more white people than than any other race, right? So when they decide how things go for other races, and basically with their amount of people, they decide how this country goes. Because we use voting, or we use the democratic approach, or democracy, or whatever you want to say, as our approach. They decide how things go. So if they decide this is the norm, then what can we do about it? All we can do is argue and protest. Nothing changes. But if they decided to say, okay, we're not going to allow for this type of stuff. We understand that this is hurting black Americans, or we understand this is hurting Hispanics, or whoever it is. It doesn't matter which race it is that is hurting, and we're going to cut it out. And they saw it as wrong. Then maybe years down the road, people can see things as comedic. They can see, okay, the injustice is not there anymore. We're all treated as equal. Everything is moving along. I'm getting the same rights as other people. We're starting to balance out the populations. Maybe they start to see everything as equal. But that's a long way coming. I'm going to be dead and buried. My kids will be dead and buried. And their kids will be dead and buried probably before it gets to that kind of equality. So I think it never happens. Not in my lifetime. And then as far as, I do understand what you're saying about there should be an allowance for people to be funny. You know, if he's drawing these pictures of white people and he's drawing these pictures of Chinese and black and everything, why can't he do those things? Well, the reason is what I said. You've ingrained that this is wrong in a race and other races. Even white people see it as wrong. You know, it's just not black people stepping up saying that was racist. It's other people see it as wrong. And now those other people see it as wrong. You just got to let it. You can't do it. You know, we can't let injustice like this happen. We can't say it's okay. As simple as that, bro. That's just the way I feel about it.
I'm just trying to figure out if that's an Australian publication. The
Australian. That's what it says.
Yeah.
So-
I wonder if their attitude is totally different from the U.S. attitude at looking at it. I mean, it could be like
That could be, you know, like you said. I think Eric said that the other countries are not. They're more open to black people. They treat black people way better.
I didn't say that.
Europe.
Is it Europe? I thought he was saying Europe or somewhere.
Europe might have been
I
probably.
didn't say that though.
I mean, shit. Shit. Like Snoop Dogg said.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg
But
said they
son,
teach black folks better overseas than they do in their own states.
So real quick. Okay, go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
But I'm just saying it. I mean, when the backlash comes for this dude, he's gonna probably come up with humor. He's gonna come up with all the other illustrations he's had.
Is that he might have a whole
He
bunch
might
of
have a whole
illustrations.
bunch of examples of how. What are you talking about? It's humor. It's illustration. It's this. He could have. I know for sure he has a bunch of Obama stuff. For 8 years, you ain't got
Maybe,
not
maybe,
one.
I mean,
maybe.
remember he's in Australia, so maybe
He's in
not.
Australia. They might have a whole different attitude
so-
towards what we in the U.S. think is,
So-
like offensive.
So just to play white devil's advocate, the show, coming from what Kev was talking about earlier, and like I say, I'm just riding both sides, so I don't know whether I'm not trying to say one's right or wrong, but this would be my argument if I was a white person. The problem I have with what Tone said, what Kev said about how it's never going to be okay for you to be able to joke about certain things or do certain things is, and mind you, I agree with some of it. The problem is that as a black person, we can't feel that way about them joining in as far as what they can joke about and what they can't, and then on the same hand, pick and choose what we want to be involved with as far as comedy goes. Like, for instance, what I'm saying is we can eventually, basically, as black people, we can joke, we can say whatever the hell we want to say about white people, about black people, about any type of black and white situations that come about.
Mm-hmm.
We can say whatever we want to say.
Right.
But when it comes to a white person, we're saying that they can't. And the thing is like, okay, we take it to the point where we're talking about the N-word, right? So, understandable. You can't say it. Don't say it. Cool. Now we're saying that, okay, you can't draw no pictures of us about with exaggerated lips and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Hey, wait, you can't do blackface. You can't do that kind of stuff. And mind you, when I say this stuff, like I just said blackface, Kevin's eyes got bright, like, yeah, fuck yeah, you can't do blackface. You see what I'm saying? But we got all these different rules that the white people can't do, but in return, we do the same shit. We'll have Eddie Murphy be the white guy, or
Eddie Murphy's a comedian.
no, that's exactly. And this guy's an artist. So what I'm saying is,
that's not a comic.
what is it? You know what? I don't want to argue with you because I don't have the thing, but it's all art. You can argue whether comedy or if he's an artist. But he, truthfully, the dude that drew the picture, he is the comic, because he just drew a comical picture.
Yeah, it's humor.
Whether we agree with it or
Yeah,
not,
I can see that.
So whether we agree with it or not, it's still a comical thing. The thing I have, and before I get off of that, or Dave Chappelle, he can be white, and he can put on white makeup and stuff and play like he's white, and it's okay. Act like a white guy. So I'm not saying, mind you, I'm just playing devil's advocate. It's hard for me to get behind. It's not hard for me to get behind, because I know how I don't like it done to me. And I'm a black person, so when I see certain things done, I have a problem with it too. I'm just arguing, I don't want to say on behalf, but just to be given an all-around kind of view here. It's like,
No, devil's advocate. I understand.
yeah, it's kind of like we get so upset over things, and we have the right to be upset about it, but there's gonna have to come a time, and I pray to God it's not what Kevin said, when his kids
Yeah.
have died, that we're gonna have to start letting stuff go, and realize that everybody who does it is not coming from an hate place. It might actually be coming from a comedic place. The same way when black comedians do it, and it's okay. Because we've been doing, hang on.
Is it okay?
Hang on. Well, we've been doing it for years. Every black comedian we know, every single, I would love to hear y'all tell me one that doesn't do the white voice.
No.
That doesn't do the white voice like, hey, Officer Timpson, how you doing? And they all do it. They
You know
all
what I
do
think
it.
that
But
is, though, Eric?
hang on, Kev. I'll let you finish. I'll let you do your whole thing. But if you heard a white comedian be like, I be going to you be mad as fuck.
I'm mad as fuck.
Everybody be mad as hell. But we can sit over talking about,
I
darling,
think
could
I
you,
have- I
darling,
think I
could you
have
hand me
seen-
my cardigan sweater? Could you?
I think I have seen some white comedians do that shit. That's
I'll be
funny.
right with you. I'll be right with you, darling. Could you just go ahead and warm up the Prius for us? And when we hear that shit, and we all laugh, like we all do it. Every black comedian gives their white, what they think a white person sounds like.
Yeah.
But it's so double standard. So what I mean by that is, I understand as a black man, I get upset too. But there's gonna have to come a time, if your argument is gonna be like Kevin said earlier, but they're comics. They're comics. Or other people have said in the past, oh, that's art. That's art. If that's what it is, then you can't be double standard about it. It's either art or it's not. It's not like it's black art and there's white art, and white art can't do the same thing as black art does.
Right. But with art, there's always going to be criticism
Yeah.
on art. So
I have to say that I understand what Eric is saying, but I've heard Hispanic comedians and some white comedians do the little black jokes, which is it's funny. I laughed. I thought it was funny. So I'm not gonna say there's not ones that don't do it, Eric. Don't think that there's not. Carlos Mencia comes to mind every time I think about it.
Carlos Mencia. First of all, he's not white. But he's not white.
But
And
then,
and it's funny you bring him up
George
because
Carlin has did some black jokes.
no,
It was funny.
no, he has not.
What?
No, he has not. Not
You
to
ain't
that.
never seen him do, but he's like, he be talking about the brothers. You
No.
know, the brothers be.
Yeah, but it's almost complimentary when white people do it.
Oh,
yeah, they make them look
man.
cooler.
They make them look cooler than what they are. You know exactly,
With
Kevin.
big
I don't want you to don't play
No,
dumb
man.
for me.
I'm
You
not
know
playing
exactly
dumb,
what
man.
I'm
I know
talking
what
about.
you're saying,
When black
but black
comedians,
people-
hang on.
black
I
people
don't
take
want
that
to talk over
stab.
each other.
No, I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That black people take that stab at white people under that comedic. They like, okay,
Kevin.
here's a chance for me to say something.
No, Kev,
back.
that's not what I'm
Yes,
talking
they
about.
do. They do. They take
no.
that. I'm a chance to say something back and not get in trouble for it. I'm gonna say something.
Kev. First of all, you're putting way too much on. First of all, I'm not saying what you're not saying is not true. What I'm saying is black people. First of all, black comedians do not worry about anymore saying something. Here's my chance to say something about white people that I can get away with. They can give a shit about getting away with it. Black people as a whole, when it comes to comedians, are so disrespectful to white people. There's no, you know what? And I feel funny
They
saying it because
disrespectful to more than white people, man.
but,
They disrespectful
we
to
talking
everybody.
Kevin. I'm talking about white people right now.
But you're not gonna say they don't make the Chinese jokes and
Okay,
Mexican
okay.
jokes?
If
All
you
of
want
them.
to, Kevin, I'm not. I'm arguing. We're arguing about. First of all, even though I know there's racist Chinese people, we're not talking about racist Chinese people. We're talking about racist white people. What I'm saying is that when black people talk about white people, it's on a whole nother level of disrespect. When white people get on stage and talk about, if white people got on with the same energy that black people got on when they talk about them, about white people. I mean, if white people talk, you know what I'm trying to say. If black people got on, if
If they're in the same
Hang on.
playing
And
field.
said the
Exactly.
same type of shit that we say to
but
be a fight.
but
They really
but
said that
it's the
motherfucker
other
down.
way around.
Yeah.
That shit would start a fucking civil war in this motherfucker. Black people
Yeah.
can say what we call them child. What do you call them? Molesters. There's no holding back, and nobody blinks an eye.
I'm not disagreeing. I want you to know that I
they
do
call
not
them
disagree
mass-
with what you said.
We call them mass
shooters.
murders. We call them there is no holding back. We to the point we just say simple. We can narrow it down to 2 words. Oh man, that's some white shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can say it, but
That's what
if,
I said.
but
I
if-
think they. You don't think they do it, but I think they get a chance to say. You say they don't no longer think about it. There's no filter. I think they say to themselves, if I was standing in front of some white people just talking, and if I said this shit, they lynch me, right?
Who
but
says
as
that?
a comedian, I'm gonna say whatever the
What-
fuck I want,
who
and
the
then
hell
nobody
thinks
gonna
that?
do shit.
You know why I know you're wrong with that? Because as a black man in America, I say whatever the fuck I want to say.
Right.
All the fucking time. Today I was in front of my supervisor. Kev,
What?
don't interrupt me.
You
Don't
did-
interrupt me.
What? You do
Today,
that?
today I was in front of my supervisor, in front of the desk, and my supervisor said, I was trying to figure out, I said, there's something that you posted up on whatchamacallit. I was trying to figure out what it was. And my supervisor said, oh, it was probably about my daughter got some kind of rash on her leg, and it was from this and from that, and we don't know what happened to it. And I was asking people, have they ever seen something? So I posted a picture of it, and I said to her, yeah, I heard white people get shit like that. And everybody looked at me and said, like it was no big deal. Kept on going. Now, mind you,
Wow,
and-
I got the wrong
hang
job.
Hang on. And I had a couple of white people laugh. One black woman said, did he just say that? I can't believe he just said that. But mind you, if it was the other way around, if we were all sitting around there and a white person said, yeah, I heard black folks get shit like that.
Oh yeah, it'd have been. It's a wrap.
You know there are diseases that black people get.
Okay,
that
so
white
you're
people don't
not,
get
you're
it,
not,
right?
okay, I'm done.
I understand,
I'm done.
or six
I'm
rashes
done.
and different
'Cause you're
things like
not-
that.
You're looking at it, you're trying to go truthful. I'm not, what part of you, hang on,
I
Kev, don't say
understand
nothing. Let me
exactly what
finish.
you're saying.
Let me finish.
I just-
What part of what I just said, the answer would be, black people do get certain diseases. That's not what I'm arguing. I already understand that. I'm saying that there's a certain line that black people, because of what we've been through, we're getting a pass for a lot of things when it comes to comic, when it comes to certain things that they let pass. And we know that on the white end, there's no way in the world a white person could say the same shit about black people.
I have to believe, and this is gonna start some shit. I have to believe it's the job that you're in. I couldn't say no shit like that.
I'm not saying.
I couldn't. I
There
cannot
you
say
go
that.
again. You're
I
missing the
couldn't-
point. What I'm
I
saying.
couldn't say
I use my
what you
job as
said.
an example.
Okay,
I'm saying in
your
I'm
job,
saying in
your
period.
job. I couldn't say that in my job. In my job, I couldn't say, "Oh man, I heard white people get shit like that." They'd be like, "What? Hey, you need to go."
You're
see
missing
me,
the
man."
point. I'm not talking about my job. I'm talking about in general. That's what we get away with.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is that the way he said it was in a humorous kind of way, but at the same time,
White
as
people
far
will
as
let
white
it
people-
pass
white people just say okay, like it didn't come across
because that's the way society is right
But
now.
now there's a sensitivity nowadays.
Black people are so and they have a right to be. I'm not arguing
Right.
that, but they're so sensitive on everything that that this. I mean, and I'm like I'm saying, it's not about whether they have the right to be or not. But what I'm saying is that white people are letting a lot of shit. What we so-called call the cool white people.
Right.
They're letting a lot of shit pass. Where I guarantee you, if you were the black man in the white group and you heard the shit that was being said, the same shit that we're saying with the white dude in the black group,
Right.
you be mad as fuck, ready to fight. You be calling us up like, I need y'all to meet me down here.
I don't disagree
Right.
with you there.
But
I agree with you
but
there.
nowadays, being labeled a racist
Mm-hmm.
is a rap for you.
yeah,
Tell me this, Tone.
death sentence.
Tell me this, Tone.
It's a career
You know
killer.
what's crazy is that racist applies to everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
But for instance, for the last, especially the last couple of years, we ain't heard about no black racists. We ain't heard a story about a black
There's
racist.
hella black racists.
Oh,
though.
Tony, but yeah, Kev, I'm not arguing that. We all know that.
We
But
know.
what I'm saying is, man, every fucking racist we ain't heard about in the last couple of years, I'm just narrowing it down to the last couple of years, has been one color. It's been white, and we know that there's hell of shit. Just in our families, there's more. There's different
Yeah,
races.
right. It's-
There's different races other than black.
It's hard to hide it now. So
So it's
I
like,
mean,
it's
you-
like, I'm just, you know what? And I really, this is one of the things I really feel bad about taking the other side for. And I'm not taking the other side. I'm just arguing it for the point of arguing that I really feel like white people, for a majority, I'm not gonna say majority, I don't know, the white people we deal with here in California, so that's a different type of white person. That's probably racist right there, what I said.
Very fucking racist.
But it's a different type of white person. But I feel like they really turn they turn their cheek to a lot of shit that's said. The people I deal with, I see it. I see it because I know that there's shit that I say, and I know there's shit that I hear. I've heard people say that if it was the other way around, I'd be ready to either fight, call up Al Sharpton, do something. we marching in this
yeah.
motherfucker.
I'm not calling Al. Give a fuck.
Yeah, well, I'll just use that. I'm just saying that's what
Everybody calls
that's what
Al.
black folks do.
I might call Jesse Steele before I call Al.
man, come on.
But it's just what it is. It is what it is.
That's fucking-
And when we talking about comedy, that's just one thing that black folks get a. And we've been doing it for a while. I mean,
yeah.
we think about Red Fox and them cats. We've got to pass on. It's almost been our way, like you said earlier, Kev, our way to talk about
yeah.
the stuff. Back then, I don't think now comedians really feel like the only way I can say this is through comedy, because I really feel I see it too much. You can be in Walmart and see a black person just going off on a white person,
Right.
and they ain't holding back at all. So I don't think they really feel like I can't say this any other way. When I agree with you, there was a time when the only way black people were going to get away with saying certain things was through comedy.
Mm.
So I do agree with you on that. I see what you're saying.
Woo!
Where we at in
Where
time?
we at?
That was a hell of a motherfucking topic. That was a hell of a topic.
Boy, shit.
Some crazy shit. But and the bottom line is,
Grand
You
opening,
know-
grand closer.
just to end the Serena thing is this:
No, sum it up.
she's right in one point.
Man,
There's
don't nobody
some-
get a fuck what you saying,
Fuck
man. Go
you.
ahead and end the
Fuck
show,
you.
man. You always
She's
talking
right.
bullshit.
She's
Nobody
right
want
in
to
one
hear.
sense in saying there are some stereotypes that need to get past. But
But did she bring it up at the right time?
Some of the stuff that you said, Eric, was like, yeah, wrong time. You brought it up at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
Or was that better yet? Was that a good example of what you were saying was happening? Was that a good example
yeah,
of it?
Yeah, you should have dealt with the ass whooping you was taking, and then you could have said your point after, and you would have probably had a lot of people, probably everybody behind you after that.
Yeah, if she would have shut her mouth, whooped that girl's ass,
Whooped their ass.
and
yeah.
then came back and been like, By the
Yeah.
way, this is what I got to say about that bullshit that happened.
was-
in,
yeah,
in, you know, she would have been like, everybody would have been like, "Ooh."
I heard
But
that.
the
You
way
came
she-
back. You did that motherfucking Aaron Rodgers shit. Came back and got in that ass.
But
She could have
Yeah.
just waited for the press conference.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, you can't tell a person how to react to certain things, and
True
who
that.
knows, you know, if she was truly offended, like she claimed she was, like she said she was,
Yep.
then we can't judge how she reacts to it because everybody acts differently, and I'm sure the way I react to certain things, there's people who would have a issue with how I react to certain things. So it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Here's what it is. Tone, let's wrap up that Bobby Brown thing real quick, man. You see the last part?
Yeah, that shit was sad.
Man, I got a little sympathy for Bobby, man. I mean, come
That
on,
nigga
man.
Tony called me up crying. I had to talk him down.
That shit is crazy. The mama died.
From the
The
steps.
daddy died. Whitney died. The daughter died. Damn, dog. How much?
And you know
that
what you
shit's
forget about?
crazy.
You kind of, I mean, I do, but I kind of forget about. I keep forgetting about Bobby Christie, the daughter
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's dead. And then when you throw that on, top of everything else, you just like, man, you really
Yeah.
feel a certain
The
way.
same way her
Sad,
mama.
man. Oh my god.
And Whitney mama was treating him bad, wasn't she? They was treating him cold, right?
At the best, but like I said, is Bobby's side. But
Yeah,
the
it's
way-
Bobby's
man,
side.
The way they made Whitney, fuck God,
Woo!
there was
Fucked
no
up?
way. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
boy. And if all you
any-
guys that
if
watched
any
it,
of that is true,
I was totally shocked the way Whitney was portrayed on that thing. I was just like, what the fuck? Oh
Hey,
my God.
if she was really strung out like that, that shit's. I mean, you have to believe she probably was strung out because she was small as a motherfucker. Whitney was
was
paper
always
thin.
small.
That shit was nasty looking when I seen her in the awards.
You
Now-
small as a motherfucker, man.
Nigga, we talking about you
Nigga,
talking about
4
height,
foot.
stature. I'm talking about
Nah,
girth.
man.
That was,
Girth, Paul.
I thought she
Pause.
was skinny as hell.
I mean, yeah, she was that Cheerio shit hula hoop. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That shit was bad. So she was
Bobby
on
has-
drugs, but I don't know whose fault it was. I don't know. Bobby started her started Bobby, because like you said, it's Bobby's truth. But the fact is that Bobby went through all that tragedy in a matter of 2 years, and I think the mom, the dad, and Whitney was all within 7 months. That shit is crazy.
It was, yeah.
That shit is crazy.
Man.
So, I know Eric ain't a fan of his music. I like Bobby Brown. I thought he did a good job at coming up from that group and whatever it was. But the bottom line is, hey, shit, man. Then only how much can a man take? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
y'all
It's
better leave
still going.
Mekhi Pfeiffer alone, too. That's fucked up.
They was on Mackay.
Yeah, they were like, they had this thing where it was like Mekhi Pfeiffer when he was younger and thinner, and then they showed
Why
him
do
on
you-
Bobby Brown.
You know what? You
I was
mentioned
like,
him a
what the
lot.
fuck?
But what was it? Why you like him so much?
Who?
It was weird to see
I
the
mean,
transformation.
But why you a fan of his?
As
We
Mackay
should-
Pfeiffer? I'm not a big Mackay
No,
fan.
he is.
Oh, Tony?
Me and him
No,
talk
I'm
all
just
the time.
saying
He
they
brings
were
him
just-
up all the time.
I'm just saying, oh no, because I haven't seen him in a while until Bobby Brown
But what
story.
movie that you like that he's in?
What was in? Fuck, you gonna make me look it up? Or
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out what
See,
movie.
off the
Oh,
top of your
Othello?
head, you can't come up.
Othello?
Did you what you say?
Othello.
Yeah, he was.
That's what
oh.
you claiming as a movie that's good?
No, I'm just trying to. I'm
Listen,
trying to figure out what movie he liked him in.
Let's not.
I hope he
no.
don't say 5 Mile or 8 Mile or 6 Mile, 3 Mile.
Yeah, he was on 8
I'm
Mile.
gonna pick 8 Mile
Mile.
before I pick Othello.
Okay, I'm trying to think what other
Othello.
movie he was put in. Yeah, Othello.
Yeah, with
You
the
never
white
seen
girl and
Othello?
the white chick that was in there. She danced in that one movie.
yeah.
Come on, he did all those.
What?
What did he do?
What movie? Yeah, I'm trying to figure
What?
out what movie you talking about.
I know he was in movies, but I don't know nothing good besides 8 Mile.
Listen, this episode we cannot be saying a bunch of shit without looking at us. So
Yeah.
it's been
Anyway,
a while since I
I
seen.
don't even
It
want to
don't
spend no
even-
time
it don't
looking
even
at it.
matter.
All I
It
said
don't
was,
Leave it
all I
alone.
said was, leave Mekhi Pfeiffer alone. He done got a little thicker and stockier. Y'all
did
acting like
Bobby.
motherfuckers don't grow up to become
Yeah,
swole.
yeah. So did Bobby. So we ain't gonna worry about it.
He did
All
a
right.
good job on
All
that
right,
show, man.
But just like say, man, yeah, so y'all should watch the Bobby Brown story, man.
That's what I'm saying. So
It's
real
just
quick, how many
insight.
stars out of 5 stars would you give it?
For this type of movie? Out of 5?
Yeah, wait a minute. Don't answer yet,
For
because
being
you
on
better
TV.
not. You please be truthful, not bullshit. You
Yeah,
always give
it's a
bullshit answers.
3.
Okay.
It's a, out of
I
5,
was gonna
3.
say 5.
It's not. No, heck no, man.
What you
It's
giving it to him?
good. I mean, there's good information there about Bobby Brown, but it's, they could have did way better. in
What
my
you
eye.
think, Tone?
I think
Out of 5 stars.
Honestly, I give it a 4.
You go to 4?
Yeah, it was very in depth.
Yeah,
And
I
even
say
though
average.
I didn't watch it, but being the Bobby Brown fan
Nobody
that I
care
am,
about you. Well, shut the fuck up.
I'm giving it a
Oh, that's the motherfucking
point,
show.
a 0.5.
Anyway, like we were saying,
You gonna rate a movie you ain't never seen?
you can't even watch the show.
But I know who it's about. It's about Bobby Brown, so I give it a 0.5.
My bad. My bad.
It's almost a whole star.
My bad.
I had to take his lead on that one right there, right?
Bobby
I
Brown.
don't watch football. He don't watch a Bobby Brown story.
That nigga half. Man, how you gonna compare football to Bobby Brown?
Hey, that's the motherfucking show. Like I said before, catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud.
Man, we really gotta get some feedback from y'all on that stuff.
Oh yeah,
so,
no doubt, no
man,
doubt.
if y'all could subscribe, tell some people, tell us how much you like us, tell us how much you hate us.
Rate us on iTunes.
Just do it. Give us the 5 stars though, but tell us whatever it is. Leave some type of
Even a
feedback.
middle finger emoji.
Yeah, I don't even care. Something. There's no
Or if
somebody
you
out
agree or
there.
disagree with us.
Appreciate it.
All right. Love you, ma.
I think we need to change the exit music.
We out.
I don't like it no more.
Peace.
I got a shit.
It's just hella basic.